Hey, we back, baby. Let's go. Welcome back to another show. Happy Saturday to everybody out there. Thank you guys for being here and rocking with me. Sorry for the delay. Today was a little different. Technically, I actually wasn't supposed to be here at all. I was supposed to be out at a wedding in another state, but I'm here. But I did have some other stuff I had to take care of and do early this afternoon or morning, whatever. And so I decided to do the show a little later today. So hopefully everybody's having a great day. I know it's a beautiful day out there, so I understand that there may not be a lot of people tuned in today because the weather is fantastic. But you know what I mean? The show must go on. So once again, happy Saturday to everybody. Thank you guys. As always, hope you're doing well. I don't have my morning cup of Joe. I actually didn't even have coffee this morning, so I don't know how that's going to make me feel, but it's okay. I got myself a little big gulp. No sponsorship, 7-Eleven. I'm waiting. It's giving me some refreshing, red tongue action. That's what I got going on. And because this stuff is this freaking liquid dye, whatever it is. But it is what it is, like I said. Hopefully everybody's doing okay. Good to see y'all. Like I said, it was a beautiful day out there. Went by the garden today, so I got to see some of the beauty that is the garden. It's always wondrous. Best arena, anywhere, man. I don't know. I mean, I haven't been to a lot of different arenas, but I love the garden. Yeah, man. Also, I know the OmniFans event is going on today. The ladies are out there doing their thing, holding it down. I believe Jericho Sims is going to be in attendance. So for those people that did make it out to get an autograph and get to meet, do a little meet and greet with Jericho Sims, that should be pretty dope. That's happening right now as we speak. I believe it's, ending around 4. So that should be pretty dope. So shout out to the Omni twins, the Omni ladies. What else? I think that's pretty much it. I don't think there's anything else that I know going on. It's 3 days until opening day, guys. 3 days until New York Knicks basketball is officially back. Regular season games. So I can't wait for that. That should be pretty dope. But we got a lot to talk about because there's some things happening. I mean, preseason is good because you get to watch the team, you get to learn some things about them, they get to learn some things about themselves, they get to start to gel, which they're still working on that. But yeah, we got some things to talk about. But let's get cracking. Let me say what's up to everybody. Shout out to Lena Franklin. Salute to you, Lena. Appreciate you. Thank you. Nice meeting you, by the way. And shout out to everybody who's tuning in, whether it be on Facebook, on X, or on YouTube. Salute to all of y'all. So let's see what we got going on. Let's see what the chat looking like. Shout out to Crimes Dad in the building. Salute, Crimes Dad. Appreciate you. Good to see you. He said, "Where is everybody?" Yeah, we out here. We back. Shout out to Walter Blackman. Salute, Walter. He said, "Good morning. Hope everyone is doing well. 3 days until our first win. Let's go." I like that, Walter. That's the type of attitude we need, man. David Smith is in the building. What up, David? Appreciate you. Good to see you. He says, "Salute to Ron in the chat. Just finished trolling a Sixers podcast. They still think they're better than the Knicks. Delusional." Hey, well, it is what it is. Yeah, man. Yeah, it was one of those days. Doing something, we had to do something. So, but I didn't want to not have the show. I said, let me do the show a little later. Lion of Judah is in the building. Shabbat Shalom, Ron, and blessings to you and your family, as well as the panel and Knicks family. Grand Rising. Salute to you, my brother. The Ron Wayne is in the building. Oh, by the way, I apologize. Also, shout out to Crimes Dad, David Smith, and the Ron Wayne, all members of the SKF Army. Salute to you guys. And as I always say, guys, if you're interested, if you want to join the SKF Army, all you need to do is from a laptop or a PC, go search up Still Nick Fans on YouTube, click the join button, and you can decide what you want to do. It's a monthly join. So I think there's different levels like 199, 499, and 999. You pick whichever one works for you. It's one charge per month, and you go from there. There will be some exclusive things we're going to start to do as the season starts. We're going to have exclusive podcasts just for you guys. We are going to have more giveaways. We did our first giveaway not too long ago on Monday's show when we got to 3,000 subscribers. So we were going to do one. We did it. We have some lucky winners that are starting to receive their goods. I know Kerry got his cup. I believe that Coach Malpica is going to be getting his item in about a week or so. His is taking a little longer because of where he lives and because they recently had storms across the southeast and all that, and so I guess that's delayed how fast things get to people, because it's weird. I've sent the same thing to someone else, a different one obviously, and they're getting it. They should have gotten it today. So yeah, it is what it is, man. What are you gonna do? But yeah, Coach should be getting his thing soon, and I'm about to meet up shortly with the art man formerly known as Steve, and we're gonna get that picture together because that picture needs to go to the Kingdom group because they won that picture. Yeah, man. So it's just a lot of stuff. So it's pretty fun. I was really excited with the giveaway. Looking forward to doing more of that. And thank you guys for your participation and always supporting us here at Still Nick Fans. Shout out to my guy. Oh, by the way, shout out to you, Deron Wayne. Thank you, my brother. He said, blessings, Lion of Judah. Solid. Salute. JJ's in the building. Says, salute, Ron. Got to be honest, I'm concerned with Bridges. I was never the biggest fan of the trade. His jumper form was always funky. Now it looks even worse. Messing around with your form is dangerous. That's a good point. JJ. You're right. It's tough. We're going to talk about it. Hold on a second. Let me fix my hat. My hat looking a little twisted. Hold on. Give me a second, guys. That's better. Okay. Brooklyn Butch is in the building. Salute, Brooklyn. What's going on, my brother? Good to see you. Andios is in the building. Salute to you, Andios. Appreciate you, my brother. As always, salute. Good to see you. Please, guys, support Andios on his Instagram channel. Give him a follow, show him some love. He's great stuff over there. Very positive, really dope. And if you see his most recent stuff, man, he got to chop it up with Karl Anthony Towns' dad, man. That's pretty cool. That's pretty dope. Right spot, right time, man. Shout out to you, Andios. Appreciate you as always, brother. He also says, hit that like, subscribe to the channel, and enjoy the show. Yes, as always. David says Cat scores 22 points, 12 rebounds, 4 assists, even without one 3-pointer made. Once his 3-pointer returns to form, watch out. I agree with you on that. Cat has not been shooting it well from deep. Once he gets that going, it's going to be special. So thanks. I apologize, guys. Give me 1 second. Sorry about that, guys. I am back. Let's see. Danny Landis is in the building. What up, Danny? Appreciate you. Salute. He said we gave too many picks for Bridges. Guys, we're going to talk about it, but it's preseason. First off, not only is it preseason, but none of this really matters because it is preseason. And we're 4-1 in the preseason. So no matter what you say, if I tell you these games don't matter because it's the preseason, you know, don't stress it, right? If I also tell you, well, we're not feeling great about the team and what they look like, but they won 4 games out of 5. It's still, you know what I mean? Like, even the bad is still not as bad as you think. It's still just preseason. But even in the preseason, we still 4-1. You know what I mean? So I'm like, that's what I'm saying. Like, let's see. Randu is in the building. Salute, Randu. What's going on, brother? Good to see you. Salute to the chat. Let's see. Okay. My guy Cully in the building. What up, Cully? Good to see you, Cully. Appreciate you as always. Let me see here. Um, okay, what else we got here? Will Salkin is in the building. Salute, Will. Appreciate you. Hope you're doing well. He says, salute, Ron. Salute, Knicks Nation. Yes. Prezi the boss is in the building. What up, Prezi? Good to see you. Pistol shot. Pow, pow. Let's go. Let me see. Kareem Grant's in the building. What up, twin? Salute, brother. He says, salute everyone. Grand afternoon. Ron, let's get it. Carlos Tejada is in the building. What up, Carlos? He says, salute. What is going on with Mikal and Cat? We didn't give up a sniper for this type of efficiency. Well, as David Smith said, with regards to Cat, there is nothing to worry about with Cat, Carlos. There's Carl Anthony Towns has been this way for his whole career. 4 or 5 preseason games, whatever, is not going to be the barometer for Cat. He's always been the same way. He'll still continue to be the same way. He's got that same type of shot and that same type of efficiency. So just got to give it time. Remember, this is an 82 game season. This is his first 5 games, and I don't even know, did he play the first preseason game? I can't even remember. But this is only a few games with a new club, with a new team and a new offense and a new system, new players around him. Got to give it some time, guys. Listen, we already talked about this in the past. There's other teams that put together players like this. It doesn't gel right away. It takes time. So you just got to give it a minute. Got to give it a minute and be patient. Now, the Mikal stuff, it's a little bit more concerning because Mikal actually changed something. So I don't know what's going on with it. To be honest, I don't know. I'm not feeling great about it. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm one of the few people that thought Mikal Bridges was a really good pickup for this team. I thought Mikal Bridges could be a fantastic defender. I thought he could add some slashing and scoring presence, but I don't think Mikal Bridges is a good shooter. Okay, I'm check. All right, I think you guys can hear me now. Uh I can't even. You can't make this stuff up, man. I've been talking forever, and you guys couldn't hear anything, and it really frustrates me. It makes me just want to pick up this whole laptop and slam it on the ground. That's how upset I am because all I try to do is make sure I can have everything set up properly, so that I can have a good show and be able to have good talks with my fellow Knicks fans. And you know what? Somebody doesn't want us to win, folks. Somebody does not want us to win. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to go back into this whole spiel of everything. All I'm going to do, if you heard this already, I apologize. I'm just going to say it again. Shout out to Crimes Dad. Shout out to Walter Blackman. Shout out to David Smith. Thank you for being a member of the SKF Army. Shout out to Lion of Judah. Shalom, my brother. Shout out to Deron Wayne. Thank you for being a member of SKF Army. Appreciate you. JJ, I hear you. I think Mikal's going to be okay, but I'm a little concerned. That shot looks a little funky, and I don't like the fact that he's tinkering with it. I didn't feel like he was the greatest shooter to begin with, so I'm not as concerned as most people. Some people thought that Mikal could come here and take over because he's dropped 30 plus in different games in the past. I personally don't think Mikal's a great shooter. I think he can score. I think he gets hot and he can, he can catch fire. But I am not one of those that is that concerned. The only thing I am worried about is the fact that he has messed with his shot a little bit, and I would like him to find his way. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know where it is, where it's going, but I hope he can get it back because they are going to need him to be able to score. Uh, I apologize once again, guys, for you not being able to hear me. I guess I was muted for all this time. Once again, it's not only is it frustrating, but it's embarrassing because I don't even know. And I'm trying to get through the chat and read what you guys are saying. If I skip to the bottom, that I'm gonna miss what everybody was saying earlier. So, I obviously I can't see if you guys are telling me you're muted. So I apologize, guys. It's just so frustrating. So frustrating. Um, Shout out to Danny Landis. We did not give up too many picks for Bridges. I don't think we did. I think your expectations of what Bridges is going to be for this team may be too high. Bridges is a slasher who can score. He can knock down the three from the corner at a high clip. But right now he's struggling to get his shot. But his defense is always going to be there. What I want to say to you is really none of the Knicks are shooting that great. Jalen's getting back to his form, so he might be good. But you're seeing Cat, shout out to David Smith. Cat scores 22 points, 12 rebounds, and 4 assists, and he's not even shooting the three well. That's guys, he's gonna get his three-point shot going. And once he does, it's gonna be ridiculous. So just think about the power of Cat's game that he can have 22 points, 12 rebounds, 4 assists, and not shoot well. Just bear with him. He's only been with the team for a little bit. It's an 82 game season. He's with a brand new team, brand new offense, around a bunch of new players. Give Cat some time to get comfortable. He'll get it. He's always been for you can say what you want about Cat. It doesn't one thing you can't say is that he hasn't been efficient. He's been efficient his whole career. So he will be again. So don't worry about that. Shout out to Randu. Appreciate you, Cully. Appreciate you, Cully. I see you. Um, Andios, thank you, my brother. Appreciate you hollering at me. You know what I mean? Letting me know what's good. Please support Andios. Show him some love with his channel on Instagram. Nothing but great stuff. I don't know if you guys heard this. I'll repeat it again. He was able to meet up with Karl Anthony Towns' pops. He got to chop it up with him. So that's pretty dope. Right place, right time. Salute to you, Andios. Will Salkin is in the building. What up, Will? Prezi the boss is here. Pow, pow. Pew, pew. Pistol shot. Shout out to Kareem Grant. What's good, my brother? Carlos Tejada. Salute, my brother. We gonna be all right, man. We gonna be okay. Don't panic. It's only preseason, and even with the bad, we're still 4-1 in the preseason. When's the last time the Knicks were 4-1 in the preseason? You know what I mean? Louisiana Knicks is in the building. Salute. Appreciate you. Bodega May is in the building. Salute to you, Bodega. Appreciate you. Nice is here. Salute, Nice. He says, salute, brother Ron. Salute to all the brothers, sisters. We good regarding the Knicks. Again, we good after the loss. Angel Torres is here. Salute, Angel. Appreciate you. Shout out to Crimes Dad. Crimes Dad did something really dope. He gifted 5 memberships. Salute to you, brother. So now Carlos Tejada is an SKF Army member. Cardiac Knicks is an SKF Army member. King No Mercy is an SKF Army member. Stacks Diff Timing. Stacks Diff Timing. I know I'm not reading that right, but salute to you. You are a SKF Army member. And Joe Curry is an SKF Army member. Shout out to all you guys. And shout out to Crimes Dad. Appreciate you for doing that, bro. Let's see. D Buckets is in the building. Salute to you, D Buckets. The Lonnie Walker thing, he did get released. I like Lonnie Walker. I think he's got skills. He's got athleticism. But I'll be honest, I kind of want to give Pacom Dadier a shot. I don't know. That kid might have what we need to add to the team. He plays really good defense. And the only problem we had with him is that in the summer league, his offense wasn't there. He looked lost. He wasn't comfortable. He couldn't hit anything. But these last two preseason games, his shot has been there. He's been comfortable. He's been swagging. He's been moving around in the court. The only thing about his defense is now that he's playing with the big squad, he's missing certain spots, right? So Tibbs is not happy about that. There's certain defensive lapses, like breakdowns that Tibbs saw. But Paco was a good defender. So it's not about him not being able to do it. It's about him just being quick about it. And another thing that I wanted to say, I don't know if you guys noticed in the last preseason game, there was a situation where something happened with Cat, and he was on defense. And Josh Hart said, "Did you say something? I didn't hear you. You got to talk." So that's something that we got to watch, because Karl Anthony Towns needs to be vocal, because this Knicks team is vocal, right? OG talks, Josh talks, Mitchell Robinson talks, Hartenstein would talk. Like, to be a good defensive team, you guys got to talk. You got to call out stuff. You got help. This guy backdoor. You gotta say stuff. I'm not out there on the court, but you get it. Like, you got to talk. And if Cat's not talking, that ain't gonna be good. So he needs to start talking. Hey, D Coolest is in the building. Shout out to you. Shout out to D Coolest 718, another prize winner for the Knicks raffle. I mean the Knicks raffle, the SKF raffle. He he said, "Salute Ron. I received my hat yesterday. Thanks again. I will be rocking it." Dope. Appreciate you, my brother. Word and style, my bro. DNL M Almante is in the building. Salute to you, my brother. He said Mikal's shooting is concerning. I agree. I hear you. Paris Doug is in the building. Salute to you, Paris. Appreciate you, my guy. He said, but I like to just pay in full every show. I don't know. I don't know what he's talking about. Oh, I see. Hmm. Thank you, Parrish. I appreciate you. Parrish did send me a message with a super chat. He said, "You are muted, Ron." Thank you, bro. Like I said, I didn't see it, guys, because I'm just going through the line of everybody's chats, but I appreciate it. I know you can hear me now because I'm hearing myself in my ears double. So, but I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Shout out to Glamour Nix in the building. What up, ladies? I mean, lady, ladies. Shout out to you. Hope you're doing well. I wonder how life is treating you in them hot Texas. That weather is nuts, man. I got a really close friend. One of my best friends is out there, and hot fire out there, man. Hot fire. Good to see you though. Keyshawn is in the building. What up, Keyshawn? Salute to you. Ed Winning is here. Salute, Ed Winning. Freeman 48 is in the building. Salute. Once again, let me shout out Lena Franklin on tuning in on Facebook. I know I don't know if she got to hear me, because I don't know if I was on mute when I said it. Shout out to you, Lena Franklin. Pleasure. Nice to meet you. She's a big Nick fan who does a lot of stuff, and she goes to all the events. She designs her own clothes. So pretty dope. Nice meeting her. Um, Knicks friends, Brazil is in the building. What up, Victor? Salute to you, my brother. He says, "Salute, my American friends. Salute from Brazil. Appreciate you." Bodega Mayor says, "Yeah, we 4-1 playing bums. But hey, don't forget, we played a whole game with our whole bench and won the game. So, and the other team had starters playing against our bench, so let's not forget that, I mean, it'd be one thing if our starters was playing and we beat them once again, another team that's not that great, but their starters didn't play at all, and we still won facing some of their starters. So that's a pretty good sign. Just saying. Shout out to Old Head in the building. Salute. What up, Old Head? All right. Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna breeze through this and get it cracking. Frustrated. I lost the whole 20 minutes talking for nothing. Let me see if I chop that out later. Um, Reese Anderson is in the building. Salute to you. Appreciate you. I'm wondering if I'm saying that. Is it Reese or is it Rice? I don't know how you pronounce that. Appreciate you though. Or Rise. Hmm. Interesting. But thank you for being here. He said both Cat and Mikal been shooting like crap. Yep. But once again, I'm not worried at all about Cat shooting. Mikal is a different story. A little bit more concerned, but I'm not worried about Cat. Shout out to Craig in the building. Guys, we are 4-1 in the preseason against whoever we playing. We played a whole team of just our bench and we still won. Y'all don't need to worry about this team like that. Give it a minute, man. Give it a minute. We're gonna be all right. I'm telling y'all, we're gonna be fine. It just the Knicks need to have these games so that they can figure out what they need to do. Now, I will say there's some things that need to be cleaned up. Josh Hart, the Knicks need to find out what's best for Josh Hart and how they can maximize on him. I don't feel he looks comfortable right now in the starting lineup with the way they're playing. So they're going to have to figure that out. And I don't care either way. If they keep him in the starting lineup, fine. If they send him to the bench, I think that's fine too. I think both ways we can still be very successful. Shout out to the new Knicks City and squad. Your salute. What's going on, brothers? Appreciate you guys. Please always show love to the Organic Fanatics podcast, man. Very dope content. Really cool. All right. Now I've hit all of the muted text. Let me go through all these muted texts. Oh boy, here we go. Jabroni's in the building. Salute. Yeah, yeah. He said a new mic is needed. Yeah, I know. And I'm gonna get one, but guys, the only reason I haven't got the new mic yet is because the new mic costs $500. And not only do I need the new mic, I got to get a mixer because the new mic is not like a regular plug and play USB mic. It has a different connection. So you have to have a mixer to plug it in. And the mixer I want cost like $1,000 something. So you see, you know what I mean? And you guys are, I already told y'all, this gig don't pay. I appreciate the love and the support you guys show with the super chats and stuff, but I don't get paid from the people that show this program. So there ain't no money coming in like that. So I gotta save my chips. Which, by the way, so when you see people using those type of mics, shout out to them, man. That shows you how much money they've been putting into their product. So you got to give them some respect. This stuff ain't cheap. All right. All right. Going through all of the muted stuff, man. This is ridiculous. Look at how long. Oh, shout out to Wilson Dang. Salute to you, my brother. I appreciate you. Thank you. New Lord is in the building. Salute, New Lord. He said, anyone else disgusted with Kyle Bridges, how he's been playing? Mm, let me see. Wow, look at this. This is ridiculous. What up, Phil? Appreciate you, my brother. Salute. This is crazy. Okay, all right, all right. So this is looks like the point where y'all can start hearing me again. Okay, here we go. All right, there we go. Okay, good. This is ridiculous. All right, cool. Shout out to Luna Jean in the building. Salute, Luna. Um, you're crazy, Phil. Shout out to Coach Sire in the building. Salute. Um, Shout out to Space Ghost. What's good? Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Good to see you. Yeah, yeah. I'm trying, bro. I'm trying, man. And normally, because of the mic issues that have been happening recently, I normally keep the show open on another tab. But being that I started the show late because I just got in, I didn't have time to do it. So I was like, I just let me just get it cracking. Always backfires. Knicks will be 2026, 2025-26 champs. Appreciate you. What's good, people? Uh Eddie F in the building. Thank you, Eddie. Appreciate you, bro. Oh man. See, Nets told us he was trash. Nets told us. Listen, like I said, guys, you gotta you have to understand what you're getting. Okay, Mikal Bridges, once again, is a slasher who can score the basketball. He's not a shooter. Okay. Even if his shot was working right, he is a streaky shooter. Okay. He has his moments where he can be hot, but he's not the greatest shooter. Okay. From the corner, he shoots it really well. But, it's all depending. But his defense is always going to be there. His effort is always going to be there. And he will have moments where he's hot. But he is not like, I'm sorry. I know some people have felt that way. I don't feel that way. I do not feel like he's the type of guy that you can depend on to take over a game for you. It may happen, but you can't game plan that way because he just doesn't shoot it that well. That's my opinion. So if you think like you got a team full of number ones, you don't. You've got one number one and you've got a number two in Cat. I don't think Cat's a number one anymore because of other reasons, but he definitely is a number two. I think Brunson is the number one, and that's it. You got a number one, a number two, and a bunch of role players. Okay. That's how I feel. But that's not a bad thing. I mean, these guys are all good. It's just that, I think our expectations have to be what it is. Um, Shout out to Josh Smooth in the building. So look at you, Josh Smooth. I don't think I've seen you in the chat before. Appreciate you. Thank you for being here, man. Um, Shout out to Animal Lex. Good to see you, my brother. Appreciate you. He says, salute everyone. Ron, I was never impressed by Mikal's game. I think we will seriously regret trading Dante. We might be taking a step back. I understand how you feel, bro. And I think there will be times where we miss Dante, 100%. But I don't think we're taking a step back. I think we're taking a different step. Okay. So it's okay if I decide if I'm trying to get from point A to point B, right? If I walk straight ahead, that's going to get me where I got to go. That's my destination. I'm going that way, right? And that's where I think the Knicks were going, right? Now we have a new offense with some different players, and we still can go that way, right? But we just can't go straight. We got to take a little bit of a detour. There's some truck that's right there in front of the path. We got to go around the truck. We can still get where we got to go, but we got to get around that truck first, and then we'll be where we got to go. So that's the only difference to me. I don't think it's a step back. I think we just got to take a step around. But we'll get there, guys. There's going to be a point in this season where you're like, man, I never thought the Knicks could play this well. You have not seen the Knicks play well yet, have you? You have not seen the Knicks shoot well as a team yet, have you? All you've seen is you saw a glimpse of suffocating defense. One of these preseason games, the Knicks were suffocating, right? So that's there. We can't comment until we see the Knicks at their best because that's when we'll know what we got. We have to see the Knicks at their best and to see the Knicks at their worst and understand that they're somewhere in the middle. Get it? Because that's how it always works, right? You see somebody at their best, you see somebody at their worst, and know that they're somewhere in the middle is who they are. And that's what's going to happen with the Knicks. We just haven't got there yet. You got to give it some time. But I hear you guys. I understand the frustration. It's fair. All right, so let me breeze through. Kerry Cox, salute. What's going on, my brother? He says, salute, Ron. Got my coffee mug and log in. Thanks. Now I will say the login thing I'm still working on. We're having an issue with the place that gave the QR code to us. So I don't know. I'm trying to get it fixed, but there it's an issue. But yes, but that cup, you can take that cup anywhere, and if anybody scans it with their phone or whatever, you can go straight to Still Nick Fans or to the email, and you could email us. It's a pretty dope idea. It's just nice when things work. Shout out to Marco Polo in the building. Said that Daddy A is going to do what we need Knox to do. I agree with that. I think Daddy A can give us that. Yeah. Yeah, right. Stacks, different timing. Yeah, appreciate you. Good look. I didn't even know. Yeah, man. Shout out to your peoples, man. Crimes Dad, man. Crimes Dad showing love, and y'all get the benefit from it, man. Now it's a gift membership, so I think it's for 1 month. But if you want to keep it going, you're always welcome to keep it going. Appreciate you. Shout out to Crimes Dad once again, bro. Jordani Jovanovic is in the building. Mikal has a bit of a broken shot. Yeah, it looks a little broken right now. He went to a shooting coach who changed his mechanics. He looks like Bill Carr. You ain't lying, bro. He do that thing look like it's yeah, it's wild. You ain't lying. That's that's a good point. Yeah, good point, bro. Once the Nick, always the Nick is in the building. Josh Hart is lost in the lineup. I know. I saw that Josh Hart said that, according to Stephen Bondi. And it was interesting because I've been saying that Josh Hart looks lost. And other people have been telling me, no, he's fine. They're moving. I'm telling you, he looked lost. But we'll see. We'll see going forward. Shout out to Eddie Ray in the building. What's up, Rhonda Don? Appreciate you, bro. Rand Rock is here. I'm sorry to say, but I'm not feeling Sims. I would rather have Huck Porty as a backup center. I hear you. I hear you. You know, we'll see what happens, bro. Maybe Huck Porty is going to show himself, and maybe it's all about taking control and taking taking your destiny in your hands. When you step up, you get the accolades. So we'll see. All right, let me. I'm gonna put this link in the chat. So if anybody wants to jump on the live panel, by all means. Um, let me see here. Shout out to Stream Elements for always keeping me in the know. Thank you. Thanks for subscribing, Sunil Jakul. Appreciate you. Thank you, Sunil. Shout out to Sherwin in the building. What up, Sherwin? Hope you're doing well, my brother. Good to see you as always. My guy Wiz BKLA in the building. He said, if you should be embarrassed about anything, it's your dances. Shut up, Wiz. Wiz is funny, man. You funny, bro. I tell you that. You got the jokes. Your singing stinks, but the jokes, you got those. Oh man. You guys don't know how annoying this is. Me saying something to you and then like 2 seconds later hearing the same thing repeated in my ears. It's the worst. Uh but it's what I got to do until I get this mic situation fixed for good. And I got to be babysitting my own mic volume. Hmm. I mean, I'm gonna star this, Deron, because this is an interesting thought. He said suggestions run have a monitoring call you on the phone, a moderator basically call you on the phone to alert that not to be hurt. Well, yeah, I mean, Andios did that today without me asking, so I appreciate you, Andios. Thank you, bro. But that might be something I need to implement going forward because this is nuts. Hey, my guy, Louis Q in the building, my brother from another mother. What up, Lou? Appreciate you, brother. My guy Trav B. Ryan is in the building. Y'all need to relax. Salute, Ron. Yeah, man. Give us some time. We'll be all right. We're gonna be all right. Shout out to everybody who's tuned in across all platforms. X, YouTube, Facebook. Shout out to Anna. Salute to you, Anna. Appreciate you. And guys, if y'all haven't checked out the show that Anna is on, man, let me just say, look, there's a lot of shows in this Nick community. We talk about it all the time, right? But Nixon Ish is another show that I think you guys should definitely take a look at. They've got a nice squad of people that host the show. They also got good collabs with people that they bring on as live guests. So please show Nixon Ish some love and go support the show. Subscribe, give them a like, all that good stuff. Yeah. Trav says y'all need to relax. Ron, you got a tough job calming these people down. I commend you. Salute to you. Listen, man, sometimes that's why I'm here for, man. It ain't always gonna be roses. So we're gonna get through it. You know what I mean? But this is what I say to y'all, man. When y'all think it's getting too crazy,
see if I know the ledge.
that's what I'm saying right there. Don't forget. Maybe y'all forget. Y'all didn't see it. I'm gonna show you again.
See if I know the ledge.
Don't jump out that window, y'all. We all right. We all right. We gonna be okay. Shout out to Wesley Robinson in the building. Peace, bless his brother Ron. I'm checking in from Strong Island, New York. Salute to you, my brother. Always good to see you, Wesley. JJ47K in the building. Bridges changing his shot after coming to the Knicks ticks me off. I don't love that either, but maybe he thought I'm trying to get back to that form that I had because when I was playing in college, that was my best like shooting form. And so he's coming, being with his Villanova homies. He's like, and maybe who knows? Maybe they had some conversations amongst themselves, like, "Yo, man, whatever happened to your shot back in college? You used to knock it down." He's like, "Yeah, yeah." And maybe they started talking, and who knows? Maybe that's what spurred him to work on and mess him up even more. You never know. Should have left well enough alone. But all I'm gonna say, guys, is give it a chance and understand that Mikal's shooting it's like supplemental. It's secondary to the Knicks team, right? He needs to be able to knock down open shots, but this team is predicated on Jalen Brunson scoring, Carl Anthony Towns scoring, and other guys filling in, right? OG's got to knock down the open shot. Mikal's got to knock down the open shot. But the bench, somebody off the bench has to be important to give points because you're going to get probably 40 points a night from Brunson and Carl Anthony Towns. That's 40 points, right? You got to make up. And in order to win in this league, I would assume you got to be somewhere in between 90 and 100. And I'm just saying, what a team like the Knicks who has really good defense. Obviously, most teams has got to be somewhere between 100 and 110, right? So if you can get 40 points a night from Towns and Brunson, and that's just average, because there's gonna be nights where Brunson's gonna give you 25 or who knows. I'm just saying. And then Towns the same thing. But so you say anywhere from 40 to 50 a night from those two guys. We got to get to about 100. With our defense, 100 can win a lot of games for us. Um, who's got to make it up? I mean, 10 points from Mikal, 10 points from OG, that's 70, right? I'm just ballparking. Then we need another 30. Can we get 30 from our bench? I think we can get 10 points from Deuce easy. I think we can get 10 points from Kolik. If Kolik plays, I think we can get 10 points from Kolik. And then this is when it gets a little hairy. Where are we getting the other 10 points from? 10 to 15 points from, basically. You know, if Precious was out there, 5 from Precious, something like that. 5 from, whoever they're using, Pacom, can't count on Sims for points. So this is when it gets a little tricky, gets a little hairy. The Knicks gonna have to figure that out. But I mean, I think Dadier could give us points. If the Knicks use Dadier and Dadier is comfortable, when he's got his confidence, Dadier can score. He can score from all over the court. I think Dadier is somebody we got to watch. I don't know how Tibbs feels about him, but we already knew the guy can play some defense. So I don't know. Somebody we should pay attention to. Um, Brooklyn Knicks fan is in the building. Mikal playing exceptionally awful. Yeah, he's just struggling right now. Travel Vibes is in the building. Salute to Travel Vibes. Appreciate you. Good to see you. Okay. So I put the link out there if anybody wants to join, but if nobody wants to join, that's okay. I got it. It is a later show. I know it's just a different timing for people. So my usual suspects ain't around. It's already gonna be close to 4 o'clock. So and I understand that. But that being said, the first thing I want to talk about, and let me put this up on the screen, make it easier for everybody. You know what? I think I want to change this. Let's change this real quick. Don't mind me, guys. Where is it? There we go. All right. So Mikal Bridges' shot. Let's see if we can get some data. All right. Mhm. No, maybe I should go to NBA because I don't know. Every time I go to ESPN to look for like the preseason stuff, they ain't really putting the stuff up there the way. So this is Mikal Bridges so far in the preseason games. Uh, see, it's Mikal. I wouldn't lie to y'all. All right, so all right. Um, he shot so 40% in the first game, 54% in the second, 54% what? Is that identical? How weird is that? How do you pull that off? And then he shot 16% in the last game. Because remember, there was one game the starters didn't play, right? So he was 0 for 1 in that first game, 1 for 4 in the second, 1 for 4 in the third, and 0 for 10 in that last game, the most recent game. So my thing, guys, is shooting 6 for 11 from the field, 6 for 11 from the field twice, should I say? That's slashing. That's who I think he is, right? So that's what makes sense to me. The 1 for 4, the 25% from 3 is not great, but at least it was only 4 shots. It wasn't like overkill. Okay. And in those 2 games, he shot, he only missed 1 free throw. He didn't take many free throws, but he only missed 1 free throw. And in this last game, he hit all 4 of his free throws. right? So the thing about Mikal is normally, and this is why I was kind of surprised at this last game, but I think that was him as well as maybe the coaching staff, maybe Tips telling him just keep shooting, see if we can figure it out, right? Because normally when Mikal's not shooting well, he doesn't chuck, right? He doesn't just keep chucking it up. He just plays within the game. So I'm surprised to see him go 0 for 10 because if he's not hitting in a normal game, he would probably stop at 4, 5, or 6 at the most. He's not taking 10 threes if he's not hitting. So, like I said, I believe that was him as well as the coaching staff, maybe even Tibbs himself telling him, keep shooting it. Let's see if we can get you out of this slump. Because that's the only way he's gonna do what he needs to do to get out of the slump is to keep shooting it until he can figure out the launch point for his shot. His launch point is all over the place. Um, Practice is going to help him, but it's not the same like when you're playing in a real game. It might take a couple games like this for him to figure it out where he's going to have to chuck. I don't know. I don't know any other way to to say it. But so this is what it is. That's what it's looking like. Um, if we look at his overall stats of who he is, right? Field goal percentage, like uh, in 2019. Wait, what is this? What is the splits? I don't want the splits. I want the. They're giving me, please. I want regular season. Sorry, guys. There we go. Here we go. So, I mean, his first year, whatever, 43% from the field. And it goes back to these are the numbers that you would expect to be a little better and a little higher because he's a slasher. 43%, then 51. 51 is a fantastic number from the field for a guard slash forward. 54, these are phenomenal numbers for a guard slash forward. This is great. 53, right? Because this is who he is. Then 46 is not bad because 44 was the league average. 46 is above average. 47.5 above average. 46.8 above average. And then 23, he was at 43.6, right below average. So that tells you something already. Let's look at the 3-point shooting. 33, 36, 42, 36, 38, 37, 38, 37 for the season. That's a good number, guys. The average is around 35, I think 34, 35. 37 is a good number. So if you're telling me that this is what he normally shoots, I know he tweaked his shot a little bit, but I'm just gonna feel comfortable in the fact that I think he's gonna figure it out. It just may take him some time, but he's gonna figure it out. And look at the free throw shooting, guys. This is an 80% free throw shooter. I mean, this last year there was a dip too. So this is stuff you got to look at, right? 3 years in a row, he shot 89%, almost 90%. Then this last year he shot 81. That's a 9-point difference almost for a guy who shot the same percentage for 3 years in a row, and all of a sudden take a 9-point dip. So when we look at it, did this whole thing just happen all of a sudden, or has it been happening? I don't know. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Maybe this is something that's been coming because he keeps tweaking the shot a little bit more. And Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just saying. But all I'm saying is relax, guys. I think he's gonna figure it out. It may not. So I don't want to say it's completely broken yet, but it's got a fracture. That shot's got a fracture in it. Shout out to Outlaw Comedian. He says Tibbs will not play any rookies unless injuries happen. Well, we looks like we got two injuries that we got to worry about. We talk about that a little bit more in a little bit, but I think that's what's happening. I hear you though. Tim is in the building. What up, Tim? Good to see you. He said, I tell you this, if Tibbs don't get us to the finals, his job will definitely be in jeopardy. I all right, yeah, I mean, that's fair. I mean, but which finals though? Eastern Conference or finals finals? Because if we don't get to the Eastern Conference finals, that's different. I think then Tibbs is gonna be they're gonna but if we get to the Eastern Conference finals and we lose like in a stretched out series, that's a step that we haven't been to in a while. You know what I mean? It's always progression. So I understand, but I wouldn't be I wouldn't say he should get fired because of that, because we don't know what would happen. If he gets us to the Eastern Conference Finals, that's a step that we haven't been at in a long, long time. Let me see. Panicking too soon. Agree. Coach Sire says Kolick, Pac-Man, Huck Porty will play. Yeah, I think that might be right. Uh, yeah, at least for now. Um, Wacko in Brooklyn's in the building. Salute Wacko said fan base always has something to complain about. Embarrassing. Okay, I hear you, Wacko. Um, Nick Yak says you would hope the coach would stop it. Yeah, maybe, but I think it because it's preseason. He's Tibbs has been comfortable with letting guys shoot because it's preseason. But in 3 days, when the regular season starts, I think you're going to see Tibbs have a short leash with all that. You're going to have to figure it out in practice. If you ain't getting in the game, you're going to have to figure it out in practice. E. Gibson is in the building. Salute. He says Bridges has never been an all-star, average 14.3 points per game for his career, and now has a Mikal kid, girl Chris looking jump shot. Oh, it's tough. Hold on one second. Let me see. I think we got some news here. Yes, sir. We got us a super chat. Shout out to the art man, formerly known as Steve. Appreciate you. Thank you for the generous super chat. He says, Peace, Ron. Gotta let Mikal keep shooting until he gets comfortable. Best time to do it is now. We haven't played a regular season game yet. P.S. Winner of the art. It's getting mailed out next week. Okay. Um, so appreciate you. Thank you so much once again, Artman, formerly known as Steve, for donating that piece of artwork. It looks fantastic. Shout out to the Kingdom Group for winning. Appreciate you. And as he said, it'll get mailed out this week, or next week, should I say? And so we'll get it to you. Let's see. Okay. Um, Was there anything else I missed here? Okay, so Cully says Tibbs may get 1 to 2 more seasons after this season if we don't get us to the finals. Knicks fans and Dolan just want to see playoffs. It really Brunson that got us in contention. That's a fact. Eddie Ray says, let's hope we don't waste all those first round picks. It's impossible, bro. It's impossible because Mikal Bridges, remember, I mean, I don't know why you guys wanted Mikal Bridges here. I wanted Mikal Bridges here because of the fact that is a really good defender who can guard the wings and guard guards, right? And slow down what they try to do against us defensively. That's what I wanted, right? And I know you guys are like, somebody might say, well, we already got that in OG Anunoby, right? But the whole point was OG gets hurt. So the point was to have protection for that and to think of how good we are when we can have both of them on the court at the same time. But it's also if OG goes down, you got Mikal. You know what I mean? You got somebody that can still give you that same level of defense against guards and wings. That's what I think this is most. That's why this was most important. It's not about no Villanova thing. It's about the fact that he's a player that is really good at what he does defensively, and we needed that. And we needed some protection. The Knicks got to see the whole damn team almost get hurt last year, and we were able to get pieces to replace those injuries. So that way, if injuries start to happen again, we got other guys that can fill in. And I think that's the smart way to go. I like I said, Mikal Bridges is not. I mean, I think some, and I'm noticing it more and more. Like I'm noticing people say, "Well, Dante's not here. Mikal is to replace Dante." You know, Julius ain't here. Cat is to replace Julius. It's not how you should look at it. You should look at it like Jalen Brunson is your number one option. Cat is your number two. Everybody else is a role player that will fill in and do what's needed. Right? Don't look at because Dante's an incredible shooter, guys. Dante has turned into one of the best shooters in the league. Right? You can't compare him to somebody else. Mikal can't shoot the way Mikal shoots better than everybody. Like outside of um, no, I don't mean Mikal shoots better. I meant to say Dante. Dante shoots better. He's like neck and neck with Jalen Brunson with regards to shooting because Jalen Brunson can shoot. Don't get it twisted. But he's a better 3-point shooter than Jalen, right? Carl Anthony Towns is a really good 3-point shooter. Once he gets going, his numbers are gonna percentage wise are gonna be just as good as Dante's numbers. But outside of that, Dante's better than every other shooter on this team. So you can't just replace that. Dante was one of the best shooters in the NBA last year. Dante shattered that Knicks 3-point record, 287 threes or something, whatever made. Like, you can't just replace that. So I wouldn't even don't compare the two. Don't compare the two. Leave that alone. All I'm saying is let's just understand that regardless of what you may think because of us giving up 5 or 6 draft picks for him, Mikal Bridges is still a role player. He's a starter, but he has to play his role. He's not a number one, he's not a number two. So therefore, just leave it as is. Don't get yourself all stressed out because of it. Some people thought when Jalen Brunson came here that he wasn't going to be that impactful, right? He showed everybody something else. Some people, a couple people thought that Jalen Brunson should have been like a superstar. If we traded for him, he got to be a superstar. Like, how do you know that? I mean, is he turning into that? Maybe, but those people didn't know that. So I just, I'm just saying, guys, just calm down. This is the preseason. We're going into the regular season. Let's. The bottom line here is to win games, even if it doesn't look pretty. If we go, say the first 15 games of the season, we go 12-3. No one's gonna be complaining. Even if some of those games look like crap, if we look god awful, as long as we win, that's what's gonna matter, because in the end, by the time we get to the, a month in, 2 months in, we should be cooking. We should be into our sets, into our flows, the shooting should be good. We're gonna be alright. Just gotta give it time. Um, Craig says Macau had always had a hitch in his shot. We're just paying more attention to it now. Um so I will okay, I guess you're saying you would start Precious over Hart and Macau will have more of a RJ role with the bench. I mean, listen, the Knicks might have to do that, but I don't think they got to do that yet. And if they do that, you know who's going to feel bad? Da- Dante. Dante will be like, "What? You're gonna send Macau to the bench? So that means I could have been here starting." Like, I don't want to think about that, guys. I don't want to think about it. But that's That's a thought. That's a thought. That's not Craig. That's not far fetched. That's a thought. I don't want to think about that one though. I don't like where that would go. Shout out to Darlene Bryan in the building. Let's go, Darlene. Salute to you. Thank you for being here. Um, let's see. So Cully says the only concern I have, if anything, is with injuries. I have no concerns. I want Mitch back healthy. Everyone. My only concern is that other than that, I can't wait till Tuesday just for basketball. I hear you. I don't think so, JJ. I don't think so. He says we got robbed. I don't think so, bro. I think it's too early for you to feel this way. And I'm surprised, JJ, because you're a Met fan. You know how it is with the Mets. It's always up and down. We get our hopes up all the time, and we've learned that you can't get your hopes up as a Met fan. You just got to let things play out, right? So you should be the same way with your Knicks. Understand that every year the Knicks have gotten better. They had one bad season 2 years ago. That was like it was a weird one. But other than that, every year the Knicks have gotten better. So there's no reason for them not to be better this year. You just got to give it time. Work with them, JJ. Um, you got to have faith in your team. Yeah, man, you just can't listen, guys. I'm be the first to admit when things are bad, I'll let you know. I'm not saying you gotta listen to me, but I'll be like, yo, what is this? But we're not there yet. We're nowhere near there. Nowhere near there. We haven't even played one game in the season yet. Like, come on, y'all. This might be you guys basically got me saving up this. I haven't had to really do this all year. I mean, not all year, I mean all preseason, right? Like I'm giving y'all 3 of these in one show. Once again,
Let's see if I know the ledge.
don't jump out that window, y'all. We're gonna be all right. Shout out to D-Rex in the building. Salute to you, my brother. He said, bro, stop sugarcoating who magically becomes 1,000% better three-point shooter from preseason to regular in under a week. Yeah, you got to give it some time. You got to give it some time. We're going to be all right. I mean, I'm surprised that people being even concerned even a little bit about Cat. Cat shot, Cat is going to be there. So I don't even know why you even worried about that. Cat for his career every year is shooting 40% from three. Y'all don't got to worry about Cat. Don't even worry about Cat shot. It's gonna be there. He just gotta feel comfortable shooting it with the Knicks in that Knick uniform, picking his spots. Just give it some time. Greg says, Ron, you have to admit we gave up all those picks for the wrong player just because he's a Villanova. I don't agree, bro. I already gave you my reason why we got him. People have their own feelings why we got him. I don't. I feel the Knicks needed more defense on that wing and that perimeter. They want to be able to lock down what most teams run out there as their best asset. Most teams that are good in the league are good because of their shooting guard and their small forwards scoring. A lot of it has to do with perimeter scoring because of all these 3-point shots that have been happening across the league. The Knicks, one of the Knicks' weaknesses has been able to lock down the three guys. You know that, right? Every year we watch them, even though they got good defense, we give up a lot of 3-point shots. So what they do, we got a full year of OG Anunoby. We went out and got ourselves Mikal, who another person who could play good defense on the perimeter. Then you got interchangeable pieces like Josh Hart and Deuce. So they're basically telling you they're focusing on stopping what has been, the cause of a lot of points in the NBA. That perimeter shooting, that perimeter scoring. I don't see the problem, guys. That's the point. They didn't bring Mikal here for Mikal to light it up. They didn't bring Mikal here for Mikal to shoot threes and to be the first option or the second option. He's here for his defense and all the other stuff that comes along with his game is why his price was so high. But we gotta relax. That's what we need him for, and we also need that insurance for OG. I was thinking about him being the insurance for OG, and I didn't even know when they were making the thought about Mikal, I didn't even pay attention to him. I didn't know he was an Iron Man. I didn't know he starts every game and he don't miss game. I didn't know all that. That's even better. You know what I mean? But like that's my point. The point is to have some you want to have somebody who's out there. Yeah, I don't see I would say this, JJ, for 7K. I don't see them putting McCall on the bench. And if they did, I don't think you look at it like a regular bench player. You would look at it like a sixth man who's out there in crunch time. Like you could come off the bench. It's not a negative to come off the bench because as long as you play when it matters. Like if he's out there the whole like in the fourth quarter or when we you know what I mean, it doesn't really matter. It's not about when it's not like to my I've always said this. It doesn't matter if you start the game. It matters if you finish the game, right? But do I think he's going to come off the bench? No. I think he's going to start. I just think the Knicks have to figure out how to best utilize these guys, how they work well together. It takes time, guys. It takes time. And the other thing too is should they make a change in the starting lineup? Maybe, but if they do, I think it's Josh. I think Hart would have to go to the bench because he's the one that looks the most uncomfortable to me. I see a reason why to have him out there because Carl Anthony Towns is shooting threes, he's not in the paint, so he can't rebound. So you need Josh to help with that. But maybe maybe having him in the starting lineup the way they're doing it, it hurts Josh because you want Josh to be Josh. Like Josh ain't Josh, then it don't make sense. You might as well not even have him on the team. We need Josh to be hungry, to be aggressive, to go get the loose balls, to get the rebounds. We need that physical play that he has, but we need the fire that he has. Like Josh gets stuff started. He goes on fast breaks, he gets in transition. And maybe he can't really do that even with the starters. Maybe he'd be better doing that with the bench. Because I think the bench could really use that spark plug. Could you imagine the way that Josh is aggressive, pushing the ball, how Kolek could feed off of that? Because Kolek can get things going, but Josh really pushes, right? And Josh can get stuff cracking. So that's something the Knicks got to, if I was the Knicks, I'd think about it. I'd definitely consider it switching things up to see what looks better and to see how much better it helps Josh. Not that I know of as of yet, but I will check D-Rex because I'm curious about that myself. Uh, no, doesn't say. It just says he injured his hamstring, and right now it's kind of like day to day until they give an official. Shout out to Buzzer Beater in the building. What up, Buzzer Beater? Appreciate you. Said, what's good? I'm relatively new to this channel. Is there too much pressure on Mikal? Uh, I don't think so. I mean, but if there is pressure, I think he's putting it on himself to fix that shot. So I don't think the Knicks fans, we're not putting the pressure on him. I think the expectations are a little too high. Because I think a lot of Knicks fans, because of the price tag that we had to pay to get him here, I think they're looking at him like he's much better than he is. I think he's really good, but I don't think he's what some Knicks fans think he is. So, and I don't know if the organization is putting pressure on him, but I do think he's got to fix that shot. But he could still be a very effective player, even with the shot, still being a work in progress. You guys saw those other two preseason games. He was 6 of 11, and in one of those games, he had 22 points on 6 of 11 shooting from the field. That's like 50 something percent. It's not bad. We can win like that. Nothing wrong with that. Felicia Lee is in the building. Salute, Felicia. Hope you're doing well. Let's go. Ron, all blessings to you and your family. If he is not in that category, then we should have not traded 5 picks for him. I said this to my family when the trade happened. I mean, I hear you, but like I said, it's the point was He is a special defender in the league, and sometimes I think we undervalue how important defense is. To be able to get a guy that's a lockdown defender is not easy. It's not easy. And the guys that do that, how do it's hard to get them from other teams. They don't want to trade them. Look at the guys who are those wings that play that type of defense around the league. Trey Murphy the third. Everybody wants Trey Murphy the third. Does New Orleans really want to trade him? No. you know, Jaden McDaniels from the Timberwolves. He's a little bit of a hothead, but when he's going, he's going. Do you think the Timberwolves want to trade him right now? Nope. Herb Williams. Herb Williams. Herb. What's his name? Herb Williams. Well, I'm thinking of the old Nick. Herb. The hell's his name? You guys know the new the other Pelican player. It's a Herb. Herb. What the hell is his name? I'm tripping. You guys know, I'm sure. But anyway, him. He's like even him. It might not be easy to get him away from the Pelicans because he's making less money. Um, Herb Jones. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you, Felicia. Herb Jones is another one. Like, and shout out to you, Heem. Everybody would love a Herb Jones on their team. And the guy now he shoots 40% from three. And he makes less than Trey Murphy the third. You think New Orleans wants to trade him? No. So my question is, where do you find that type of guy that's an OG Anunoby or a Mikal Bridges? Where do you get him from? And if you want to get him, how much you think it's going to take to get that type of guy? We look, did we overpay? Yes, we overpaid. But I knew we were going to overpay. I said this last year, not this past year, last year. I said if we want to get Mikal Bridges, we're going to have to overpay. And the Knicks knew that. And they did it because in the Knicks' mind, we got the guy to help us win a championship. Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, Karl Anthony Towns, a bench with some young guys that could turn into something special that haven't even been unlocked yet. The Knicks feel like they got all the ingredients, and they got a great coach in Tom Thibodeau. So they made the move. That's all I'm saying, guys. We gave up a lot, but they feel like they're ready for what's next. They're ready to go for it. No way, Keyshawn. You're right. There's no way the Knicks were going to get Mikal for what he really is worth. We were going to have to overpay for him. No way in hell. Especially the Nets giving us the back page and giving us what we want. No way. Yeah. So I'm just gonna say it once again, guys. I think we just need to be patient with Mikal, give him some time to get right, and understand that another reason why he's a special player and why you overpay for a guy like this is because he fits your system and what you're trying to do, right? And he's a guy that even though that shot may look a little broken right now, he can still help the team. His defense ain't broken, guys. You saw that first preseason game or the second one? I think it was the first one. He was like a madman out there on defense. And that just showed you glimpses. Once they get going and they get a system of comfortability together, this Nick team is going to be ridiculous on defense. They're going to start doing some defensive stuff that's going to be like, man, ooh, they top five easy. Top three. Oh, man, this week they're number one. The Knicks is going to have that. And that's because of his defense, right? Once they get it going, sometimes it only takes one person to get it going for other people to get good shots. If Karl Anthony Towns gets his shot going well, that might open it up for Mikal because then the defense got to play. They got to pay attention to Cat. That means Brunson. They're gonna have to worry about Brunson. So guys like OG and Mikal should be getting open looks at the basket, and Mikal might have a chance to figure it out then. Just got to give it a chance, man. Like the Knicks are not shooting well as a team from three. They're not going. I don't know if they'll be the best, but they definitely ain't gonna be shooting this bad. So give them some time. It takes a little minute, but they'll get it right. Sang Freud is in the building. Salute to you, my brother. He says, greetings around. Hopefully the Bridges defense is as good as advertised. The offense will come. After what I saw in that first preseason game, when this dude was relentless trying to get them steals and he was snatching them, I was like, oh no, yeah, this dude's different. And with what OG does, and when Deuce gets back to his comfortability, because Deuce is a klepto too, man. We gonna be, we're gonna be in a situation, bro. It's gonna get crazy. Let me see. I got somebody backstage. What up, D-Rex?
Yo,
what up, my brother?
What's up, man?
What's happening?
First of all, not related to the show, but I did want to say that I've seen you have some technical issues, and I streamed myself, and I was thinking I could probably help you with some of them.
Oh, nice.
Neither related to anything going on here, but it's an offer if you're open.
Appreciate you, bro. Yeah, we're trying to get through it, but I don't know, man. And I bought some new devices to help, but the only constant that seems to be happening right now is this mic. This mic is the same constant, so we'll see.
It's an open invitation. If you'd like, we do live in the same neighborhood after all, so
that we do.
But it's funny because I actually, and a lot of people would have been on my case about this, I think, but I wanted to jump on the last Saturday because I was saying from that first preseason game, people say, "Oh, I personally think it's a little silly. Oh, it's preseason. It's preseason. They're going to play more loose and take more risks, but they're not going to be a completely different player from preseason to the regular, especially when the regular season is Tuesday. Not a month from now. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to be doing different shots and things you never saw them before. They're going to have some habits and some things that will go from preseason to regular season. It's not to say that it's definitive, but Mikal Bridges, that first preseason game was looking a little sus. That's fair. Cat, his 3-point. I don't have any doubt that eventually his 3 is going to start falling, but Bridges is having some issues, man. You just got to be real. We just got to be real.
He is.
And I mean, short of Josh Hart saying himself that Precious Achiuwa should start over him, I don't know how much more clear it could be at this point. He himself last season he played best coming off the bench. I think is that not a fair statement? When he comes in off the bench, he could look at what the status of the game is and be like, okay, I know what I need to do. We're not rebounding enough. I need to rebound more. This guy is lighting us up. I need to be on him. He could be very clear. And I also feel like in his role right now, it's not I've seen a lot of tall starters come in, shoot a 3 over him, Josh Hart contests it, and it doesn't affect the shot at all. And that's not building his confidence, bro. That's not a good feeling to be a starter on an NBA team, not taking any shots, trying to block stuff, and just seeing it sail over your head and go into the basket over and over and over again is not a good feeling. I'm not saying that Josh Hart is not a good basketball player. That's far from what I'm saying. But I feel like there's this logic of okay, our 5 best players needs to be our 5 starters. You know what I'm saying? They're the starting 5 because they're the 5 best players. The power level of the team could be distributed more efficiently. You know what I'm saying? Not just because they're the 5 best players and the most trusted players that they automatically should start together. You know what I'm saying? It's just because X doesn't mean Y. You know what I'm saying? So it might be that for example, we know from last season, this is statistics, OG and Precious play excellent together. That's from what I've seen, the most plus duo on the Knicks last year that put in as many minutes. OG, Jalen, and Precious were plus 40 across 3 games in the playoffs. And now he has a 3. So you can't just ignore him on offense. And it's not like he never shot a 3 before. We lack rim protection in the starting 5. That's a fair point, So starting Precious, not because he's better than Josh Hart, because he's more, not anything like that, but because for the chemistry of the squad, for what is the most stable starting 5. Okay, it's not like you're not going to play Josh Hart, bro, because he's on the bench. He's not going to play any time he's on the bench. That's absurd, So I think a lot of people it's almost like you're saying oh, Josh Hart is worse than Precious in their mind if you say he should come off the bench. No. It's just, how do you maximize his talents? How do you maximize the chemistry that he'll have with other people on the team? So.
No, that's fair. I mean, I think that. So I think that's an interesting way, and I think that's probably the way that the Knicks would look at it. I think if you decided that you didn't want Josh out there in the starting unit anymore, the way to go would be to go big. And Precious probably would be the one that might get the nod, because that you need. My whole thing about having Josh in the starting lineup is because of the fact of the rebounding aspect of it. Because you got guys on the team with OG and Mikal who aren't the greatest of rebounders, and if Cat is shooting long threes, he obviously is not in position to rebound. So it's rebounding. So yeah, I would think Precious would make sense in that situation. I think Sims is he just doesn't have. I mean, they could do it, but I don't think Sims really
He's
flows
not dynamic
with that
enough.
starting. No, I don't think he flows with that lineup. So I think Precious would be the guy. Plus, Precious already knows, the systems, all the sets, and all that. So he's a good one to run with. But I don't think they will do it. But I mean, not for nothing, Huck Porty might not be such a bad idea either. And I say that because
I don't see that as bad either.
Right. I say that now because of the fact that unfortunately Precious is dealing with this hamstring thing. So the Knicks might be forced to stick with this lineup for a little while longer, because without Precious being out there, without Landry Shamet being out there, we're a little hands tied. Yeah. So I don't know what they're gonna do here. I personally don't love this whole, I only like Josh being out there because of the fact that we know we have Cat and he's shooting long threes. But if it wasn't for that, I don't necessarily think Josh should start. I think Josh should come off the bench. I think his energy is what's gonna help that bench run. Like
100%.
With him, Deuce and Payne, and then if you can mix Kolek in there if need be.
Some dog.
I don't know. I like it. But I
just think back to last season, like how many times we were in a very competitive game or we were kind of getting clobbered a bit. Josh Hart comes in off the bench and hits a timely three, does some kind of timely play, and just the whole vibe of the game has changed after that. I feel like that's what makes the most sense for him. I feel like him started, even it's not me making this up. He himself said, I don't feel comfortable as a starter in this unit. He said it yesterday, bro. It's not like I made it up because I hate Josh Hart. Some people make it out to be like, oh, you think Josh Hart is not a good, no, bro. He's a great I'm very happy he's on the team. But I want him, I don't want him to be out there feeling lost and just seeing people shoot over him and not getting any points. It doesn't feel good as a basketball player in a starting five, I'm sure. I've never been in that position. You have Cat next to you, OG next to you, Jalen next to you. He's putting up 20 points, 30 points, and you're making 2 points the entire preseason. That cannot be a good feeling, bro. It can't. It's just logical. It cannot be a good feeling. So
no.
And we heard all this talk about he's working on his shooting. When is he going to get a turn to shoot in that starting five, bro? Never.
And right now, to be honest, do you really want Josh chucking up shots and working on his shot when already nobody else is shooting well? This is not really the time,
No. And the other thing that I would say is people say, well, okay, OG could work on the rebounding more. Cat could work on the rebounding more. OG is not going to be sitting in the corner waiting for a three if he's out there trying to rebound and be more of a five kind of defensive position. If you have someone else, let's say a Precious, for example, who we know is good at rebounding, who we know is good at the dirty work of defense, OG can be running around and doing his own, lane intercepting and just waiting in the corner for a three and all that kind of stuff, that you want him to be doing. I feel like that's what makes the most sense. I'm not a coach, I'm not a pro basketball player, but I mean, I would have liked to see them try that lineup for one game of the preseason just to see, But I guess at this point, I don't understand how much more it could take than Josh Hart himself saying I'm lost in this role. I don't know.
And the fact that he just said that that says a lot.
I don't know how much more clear it can be than that. It's not an opinion. It's him, myself, the player.
I hear you. Let me just read this real quick. I want to shout out, say thank you to my guy, Paris Duggar. Thank you for the generous super chat. He said everyone needs to chill. Bridges is a defender first. That is 100% what I've been trying to say, Parrish. I don't know why we get lost or caught up in this other thing. The Knicks are still, the identity of this Knicks team is defense. And Bridges is a defender first, and he's very good at his job. And that is why the Knicks wanted him. That fits Tom Thibodeau's style. The fact that he can do other things offensively is a plus. But once again, even though I showed you guys his numbers, and his numbers kind of point to him not being that bad, but I look at it like, once again, he's a good scorer. I don't see him as a shooter. I've watched him play multiple times. Just because you can knock down shots, right, when you're wide open, you have your moments here and there. To me, that doesn't make you a shooter. Maybe I'm a different, like my eyes, my lens is a little different when I look at stuff. Shooters are the guys that I'm like, no matter what, you better show different looks to this guy, or he is gonna light you up. That's a shooter to me.
Like a Dante.
Like Dante was a shoot. Yes, like a Dante. Dante, you already seen. Leave Dante alone, and he will light you up. So that's my whole thing. Like, don't put Mikal in that box. Let him figure it out. But the bottom line for Mikal is he just needs to remain efficient. So the times that I've watched Mikal, because like I said, the reason why I said he's not the greatest shooter, I've watched him with Phoenix, and I saw some nights he didn't have it. But in the nights that he didn't have it, he still gave you 13 to 15 points on solid defense, and he didn't shoot his team out of the gym. He took the shots that he got, and if the shot was questionable, or if he felt like he had to force a shot when he wasn't going well, he didn't shoot it. He passed the ball.
You know,
and that's
that was
what
something that
him.
I was like a little bit scratching my head at. Like, I think the Knicks recap guy, Troy, he made a point of like, after the 5th three you miss, start going for a layup, bro. Start going for a dunk or something, like just see it go in the hoop to begin with, and then go back to shooting 3 or something.
Right.
10 threes missed in a game is a little, I know it's preseason, but like, for example, Pacom Dadier, not to say he knows anything better than Mikal Bridges. Mikal Bridges is much more experienced. But his first point as a Knick was just cutting to the basket and dunking, in the NBA, like in the preseason. Mm-hmm. I'm sure that just him saying like, okay, I made 2 points. Like I got a point to my name for this game. Now I can start shooting.
Right.
I think there's something to that.
I agree with you, but I also feel like I honestly, and I only feel this way because of what I saw happening with Cat in that second preseason game, I think it was. I feel like the coaching staff or Tibbs himself told Mikal to shoot the ball. Just keep shooting. Let's see if we can get it. Because first off, on a Thibodeau team, he does not want guys chucking. If you ain't hitting, Thibodeau's going to be the first to yank you out of the game and tell you stop shooting. But I feel like because it's preseason, because he knows that Mikal's struggling, because it's the same thing that I saw with Cat, because Cat was pulling in one of those games. I was like, wow, he's taking a lot of shots.
Yeah.
And he's missing. And I was like, no. Tibbs must be, because Tibbs wasn't even making a face. I saw Tibbs looking at him like he wasn't upset. So I feel like
you're probably right.
I think they wanted them to shoot it just to see if he could get right. And because this game don't mean nothing. But once it means something, it's different.
I've heard that towards the end of his tenure with the Nets, he was not shooting that well, actually. Like if you just measure the last third of his tenure with the Nets. So there probably is some kind of concern there. And I think you made a point, but I also think like the answer is a little bit in the middle. Like he is not here to replace Dante DiVincenzo. He's not here to be Steph Curry light. Like we know that's not his role. It's not what we bought into. But it's inevitable on a team like the Knicks, as hungry. This is the hungriest fan base probably in sports at the moment. We've seen all the heartbreaks. We've seen all the big stars come and go. A bro coming here for 5 picks, 3 players, all this crazy shit, coming here out the gate, missing 10 threes. Bro, it's New York. You know what I'm saying? We had the whole Randall getting booed thing. The Knicks fans is not going to be, oh, it's okay. You know what I'm saying, bro? Like, they're not going to be like, oh, it's fine. You're good. Like, no way.
You're right.
No way, Jose. They're going to be like, they're all calling him a bum already. You know what I'm saying?
I know. You're right.
I don't think he's a bum, but I'm just saying, like, the price of him getting here and, like, what he was advertised as on the Nets. Like, I will say one thing that people don't talk about enough. I think, like, as far as his ball handling skills and, like, just dribbling and juking people out, I think he's better at that than OG. Like, I think he moves with the ball better than OG. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah. I agree with that. So I think OG's a better mover without the ball. Yeah. Like, he slashes, he cuts, he's and Mikal's good at that too. So that's why I say this is different. Like, for the Knicks are in a situation where they have to get used to this new style of basketball, because now they've got weapons that just play differently. And I'm not saying that Dante didn't do that, because I watched the video yesterday of Jalen Brunson and Dante's two-man game, and how Jalen was constantly feeding Dante with backdoor cuts. So that is something that the Knicks are going to have to figure out a way to continue to do, because that's a smart way to play basketball. So whether it be Bridges or OG, one of them guys better start learning how to cut backdoor, because that was working, and they both can do that without a problem.
I mean, not for nothing, but the Knicks got so many easy points last year of Jalen doing that with Precious. Just like Precious hanging out under the rim, they think he's just making space or whatever. You pass it to him, boom. You know, like so many brain dead points off that chemistry right there. And that's even, I would say, another reason why I'd like to see him in the starting five, just because if he's sitting there under the rim protecting, and Cat is out at 3-point line, Odie's out at 3-point line, there's just too much to watch out for. You know what I'm saying? Especially now that Precious can shoot a little bit. You know,
right? Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah, we're cooked by injuries right now again. Same old Knicks story.
Yeah, and speaking of something, you mentioned coaching and stuff. I just wanted to say, please, guys, I haven't put up the thumbnail yet for Monday's show, but please tune in to Monday's show. It's going to be another dope one, a very special one. We're going to have Coach Nick from B-Ball Breakdown on YouTube. He will be on Monday. He's been on a show that John and I did back when we had the NBA report, before someone took the name and created a channel with it. But whatever. Sorry, I'm so bitter. But anyway, we had him on the show and we had a really fun time. It was really dope. But so we're gonna have him. This will be his first time on Still Knicks Fans. But please, if you haven't checked him out, if you have ever been concerned about understanding basketball a lot better, listen to Coach B-Ball Breakdown. He's fantastic. Coach Nick is great at what he does, and there's a reason why he's got almost 900,000 subscribers on his channel. Like, he gives you some really good information because he's been there. He's been an assistant coach on all levels. So that says
I didn't know he was actually an assistant coach. That's cool.
No, yeah, he was. He was an assistant coach in the NBA, and yeah, he's been around stuff. So yeah, pretty dope to chop it up with him once again. So tune in Monday at 9 p.m. for that show. So then, that being said, the injuries, man, the injuries are back. Oh wait, let me get to this real quick before we jump into that, because we got another one of them things. Shout out to my guy Paris Duggar. Thank you once again, bro, for your generous super chat. He says, play Sims with Cat, Brunson, and Cat and OG are taking most shots. Go big and athletic. Cat is also a good lob passer, and it will protect Cat in post-up D. All right, hold on.
I think that's even still more of an argument for Precious than Sims, but yeah. I also have to say, not for nothing, but I mean, I think the whole shadow of McBridges' very poor shooting performance, Sims had a really bad night the other night, man. He was not doing nothing. He missed a lot of really open, like, passes, shots. Like, I just did not see. He might have been plus at the end. They didn't check the statistics or whatever. But I think more people were talking about Bridges, obviously, than Sims. But what I saw from him was, like, missing lobs, missing passes, missing dunks. Like, I'll be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of him. I could be biased, but
I hear you. I mean, I also know that you are a big fan of Precious, and you like Hook Porty too. So I hear you. There's nothing wrong with it. I mean,
I'm not anti-Sims, to be clear. You know,
I got you. I mean, I wish I was gonna. There was an event today. I could not be there for that to be able to see him, but I would have liked to ask him, like, how he feels about being a Knick currently and adapting to the style of play and the type of things that he worked on in the off season. Yeah, Jericho's doing what, should it be over now? Yeah, it ended like about 30 minutes ago. He was doing a meet and greet in the city through the Omni fans. So yeah, so I'm sure some people got to meet him today, and I wonder.
I mean, I'm curious. He doesn't really talk out that much, and
I know that's why I was really interested to see what that would be like, because I know he's an introvert and doesn't really talk that much. So that would have been interesting. Let me see, because I was watching the game, but I wasn't really so focused on Jericho.
To be clear, I don't think that, like, you should waive Sims like how some people are saying, because you definitely just do need someone to jump for every rebound and do what he does. I think, like, there's a place for Sims and Huck40 and Precious on the team because you do need someone like. But also, to be fair, like if, which is I guess the theory of this year, our shooting efficiency does go up, there will be just less rebounds. If we become a better shooting team and a better defensive team, there will be the other team shooting less and we'll be making more baskets. The best version of this team, so probably the number of rebounds will go down. But
yeah, you're not lying. Sims didn't have a great game. I mean, he only played 11 minutes, but he only had, he had an assist and he had 2 rebounds, and that was it. That's his contribution. He didn't take any shots or anything like that. Yeah, it's everybody's kind of trying to find their way right now with this new look team, and he hasn't found his way either. And what stinks about it is, Precious has been looking good, but then Huck40 is creeping in, right? Like Sims is leaving that door open.
yeah.
So
Like I said, personally, I don't think maybe it doesn't work, by the standard logic of an NBA team, but like it makes sense to me that certain times you want someone who's a better rebounder, and certain times you want someone who's just more of like a rim protector, paint protector, around the rim finisher kind of thing. Like I don't see Tyler Kolek benefiting from being on the floor with Sims as much as he probably benefits from, him and Huck40 have a real chemistry,
right. I think State's trying to get in. Looks like I know you out and about, State, and you could probably hear me. I know your connection doesn't seem like it's holding up, but the link is out there again. I see you already got it because I see you jumping in and jumping out. So, but we here. So let's see if State is able to jump in. Yeah, and Wiz, the link is back out there, so you can grab that link and jump in if you want. Yeah, man. But so these injuries, bro, we can't avoid them. I mean, it's
even
like
IR got injured.
You know what I mean? Like, what is happening? The littlest thing could turn into something. Like, first it's Shamit. I mean, I don't even know. Has Shamit ever dislocated a shoulder? All of a sudden now we're dislocating shoulders. What is happening? Like, can't wait.
I think part of it is like the preseason was like, okay, we've got to go out there and impress Tibbs, show us that we're like really worth being a part of this team and worth the minutes. We got to play hard, like really hard. And like, it's not to say there's something wrong with that, but like, it makes you want to push past. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear you. I see Wiz is in the vehicle out here picking up fares. Got to get that money for the salmon, Saturday salmons. What up, Wiz?
What's up?
Here we go.
What up, my man? Long time,
What's happening,
boss?
bro? Yeah, man, it's been a minute. It's good to see you, bro.
Yo, I ran out of salmon, so I've been a little weak. I haven't had salmon in a while, so that's why I've been weak. And
yeah,
I finally came on the right time, West Coast time. West Coast is
there you go.
It's not the best coast. I'm still East Coast. I'm still Brooklyn. What's up, boss? How you doing, man?
What's up?
Yeah, chilling, bro. Well, let me bring State in here too. I think his connection is stable right now. But Wiz, go ahead, keep talking, bro.
All right, man. Yo, Mikal. People take a lot of narratives, man, and they change narratives. What's up, State? Whoa. So, you want me to keep going on the narrative of Mikal first? Because there's one I want to knock out. There's a Brunson narrative about him taking a pay cut. Not accurate, but we can touch that later. But Mikal Bridges, probably going to be top 5 defender in the league. Top 5. Backup. Iron Man. Backup for OG. I mean, man, you saw Precious and, OG and Precious are both kind of the same with those thick legs. I got the same thing, man. The hamstring pull is very vulnerable in that situation.
That's actually a good point that both OG and Precious had the same or similar.
Very similar. So that possibility is so close. We need a wing stop, like those my boys call it, wing stop. Mikal is the piece that I think was probably the only we could really get. Now, yes, was there a cost to it? Absolutely. But let's look at the cost cost benefit analysis, right? Let's look at the cost. 5 first rounders, but one was protected. right? That's protected like up the wazoo. That may never even give us anything but a second rounders 3 years from now, right? So that was Detroit, right? That was protected, and I don't know if they're gonna make it to give us that pick's gonna be available to us for 2-3 years, and if possible 2 years from now, I think it converts to like 2 second rounders. So let's not count that pick right now. That pick is nonsense, because if Detroit does happen to step up their game and it ends up where that pick is in number 12 or 14, that would be great. But that's lotto, right? That's gambling. We got a sure thing in who this cat is, Mikal, defensively. Our pick next, our pick, right? 2025 pick, first rounder. Expect us, because of the team being that strong, to be in the 20s. Again, mid-20s first round pick. Let's hope that they're coming out of collect type, or where they can start right away. If they can, then yeah, there's a possibility we have a rookie starting a year from now to develop into a piece that can contribute 2 years from now, when you can see we're trying to win now. Window, 3-year window, right? Maybe 3-4-year window right now. I'm looking at safely with that 3-4-year window. So that rookie next year may contribute for us 2 years from now, but more than likely 3 years from now, which means it'll be the end of our 4-year cycle to trying to make this run for the championship. So we're trying to win now. So even next year's pick is so recent that it won't necessarily contribute to our winning in the next 2 years. So let's not count that as something that was hugely lost compared to a cat that's top 5 defensive in the league, potentially, DPOY, right? So I will therefore not address any pick after that, because any pick after that is a 2027 first rounder. And we're talking about a kid who's going to contribute in 2030. Come on, man. I don't even know if the country's going to be around in 2030. Come on, man. We may be Haiti by then. Come on. I'm sorry. No,
So wait.
no.
I hear you. You. I got you.
2030. So therefore, 2027, 2029. Come on. Forget about it.
All right. Hold on.
I think you have a point. Yeah.
I see where you're going, Wiz. But do you really think, now before I get over to State, but do you really think that the Knicks are that concerned about drafting anybody going forward? Because I feel like the Knicks showed you that we believe we have the team to get it done. We made a very solid push to go get Cat, because apparently they were trying to get Cat all summer that we didn't know about. We find out now that they've been talking about it all summer. They drafted 4 guys in this past draft, which some of us was like, they're probably just going to trade the picks. I mean, none of these guys are going to play anyway. Not only are some of these guys playing, we don't know if they're going to continue to play. You know how Tibbs is. But it seems like the Knicks had a plan to say, we're going to pay these guys their money. We're going to get caught up in the apron. Then we're going to go into the second apron. If this happens, we can't do nothing. So I don't even think the Knicks is worried about any picks going forward, but I hear what you're saying. Exactly. I think this is the team. I think them young boys that they got is hopefully they're going to turn into something. I mean, we're talking about guys that can contribute, and we don't even know if they're going to play, right? Kolek looks like he should be out there on this team. We still don't even know if he's going to play, right? Because once the season starts, that's when Tibbs is going to chop this rotation.
Exactly.
So I'm just saying, like, we got to wait and see. And then we got a guy waiting in the wings who, not for nothing, outside of him being injured, I've heard nothing bad about this kid. We haven't even talked about Kevin McCullough Jr.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That kid looked like he could play on both ends, and we're not even talking about him. So let's relax, because I think the Knicks already used their picks for who they think they need that can contribute. Hopefully these guys stay healthy, but the injuries is something we got to be concerned about. We haven't hit regular season. We got 2 guys out right now. I hope Precious' hamstring ain't that big of a deal, but that Shamet injury is a problem, and it's his shooting shoulder. That's an issue. Let's see. But anyway, State, I know you State's talking about no excuses. What you feeling, State? First off, good to see you, brother. I hope you're doing all right.
Yo, what up? It's good to see you too. No excuses. I don't care about draft picks from years from now. Should have thought about that after they traded 5 for M5. M5 is Mikal Bridges. Why is Mikal Bridges M5? Because we traded 5 first-round picks for this man. Let me get this straight. We traded for Mikal Bridges. He's shooting worse than RJ Barrett from 3.
He's shooting worse than Precious.
when it comes to Precious won't be back until December. So don't expect to see Precious no time soon. It's a reason why.
We got a confirmation on that? I'm sorry.
Now, I'm telling you through the grapevine. If you don't believe me, oh well, okay, no problem. I
I
told
hope
this
you're wrong. Damn.
space as well. Shamlin is done until December, right? Shamlin injury, I think he really tore out his shoulder, tore something in his shoulder.
Did not
Pressure
look good.
spring injury, that's not going to heal for another 4 to 6 weeks. Usually when something is not dire with the New York Knicks when it comes to injuries, they release the information within the first 48 hours. They haven't released no information yet on Precious. So that already tells me everything I need to know. Thibodeau needs to not do dumb-ish, like play Mikal Bridges for 15 minutes straight, like what he did last game. That's what I don't want to see. That's what's going to make me crash out on the timeline. You know why? Because we just watched Bacome Daddier, who you drafted in the first round, by the way. I don't give a damn if he's 19. He looks ready to go now. Relocation and off-ball movement is a skill that certain kids don't have yet. RJ Barrett didn't have that skill. Quickly didn't have that skill. If this is a read and react offense, what you seen from that 19-year-old kid, that 6'8", 210-pound 19-year-old, that's what you want to see. Shooting 55% from three, by the way, in preseason. Thibodeau's either going to have to, because I don't want to see Josh Hart in the starting lineup. That's stupid. It's not winning basketball. It's not 2008. You're not going to win an NBA title with a guy literally just out there. Like, he does nothing for me. If you want to say his fast break passes is good, whoop-de-doo, no problem. But for what this team needs specifically, I like Josh Hart off the bench. Now, with the Precious injury, puts Tibbs in a box. I don't want to see 10. I don't want to see 9 men on Tuesday. I'm going to crash out. I want to see 10 men. With that said, either he's going to have to, and it's just me thinking out the box, he's going to have to either start Deuce or start Bacome Daddier and put Josh Hart on that bench until Precious come back. This is just thinking outside the box, right? Because you still want to run 10 men. You still want to run 10 men. Or you can start Cat at the 4, something I'm not doing, because in order for Jalen Brunson to be the best Brunson he could be, Cat has to play the 5, point blank, period. Or you can start Jericho Sims with a Cat in the front court. But why would I do that when my first season opponent is the Celtics and you know they run this small ball 5 out? So Tibbs is in a conundrum. Play the kids, bro. Play Kolick, bro. Play Bacome Daddier, bro. I like Cameron Payne. I like what he brings to the court. But right now, if you look at the bench, and if he's not benching Josh Hart, I'm looking at Deuce, Cameron Payne. Who you going to put at the backup 3? You got to play Bacome Daddier. So I'm going to put him there just because I'm not stupid, right? I'm not going to overextend Mikal Bridges and OG knowing what's on the line this season. Hopefully, though, ain't that stupid. I hope I'm not watching that come Tuesday. So I would play Bacome Daddier at the backup 3. Now, here's another conundrum. There's no backup 4 right now for the New York Knicks. So you're going to have to stagger Mikal with Bacome with OG. Bacome. it's your and Tyler Kolick too, because now you don't want to overextend Brunson. So now you gotta play Kolick. Ariel Hakaporti, he might have to see some time and Tibbs gonna slide Cat to the 4. So it's on Tibbs, yo. Mikal.
What do you consider Josh Hart?
What you mean? Josh Hart is a $90 million man scoring 0 points. That is unacceptable.
No, position-wise. Position-wise.
What you mean?
Is he a 2? Is he a 3? Is he a 4?
Josh Hart is just, he's a multi-dimensional player that needs to come off the bench, and the guy that you immediately put in the game and he's the first sub for either Mikal, OG, or
Okay.
in my wishes, Pacome Daddier. And
But
I
you
was
didn't mention him. You didn't mention him in that threesome before. You mentioned Pacome before you mentioned Josh, and that's why I threw it in there.
I mentioned
OG, Mikal, Josh, and Dadier. That's a full rotation and that 3/4 spot. So I just want to clarify that.
yeah, I have to clarify that for me. That man
But no,
scoring
you didn't mention his name. You
million.
mentioned Pacome, OG, and Mikal, and you didn't mention Josh. I'm just
I know
saying that's.
I did on purpose.
I think that he's making a point because, like, bro, no matter what happens to this team, there's one certainty that Josh Hart is going to get minutes. No matter what happens. If the Earth gets nuked tomorrow, Josh Hart will get minutes on the Knicks. You know, that's no matter what.
Yeah, but where? I was clarifying where. That's why I didn't hear.
Does the first sub off the bench, multi-dimensional player. The
He
only
could be a 2 or 3.
2,
3
3,
or 4.
Or even a 4. Yeah, damn.
The only other player that I have a kind of, well, I got a problem with Tibbs because Tibbs is just not using Mikal to his best of his abilities. But when it comes to Jalen Brunson, his points don't matter to me no more. They don't matter to me. Preseason game 1, I watched Mikal touch the basketball one time in the first 5 minutes. That is on the point guard. He's going to
pass
or more. His preseason numbers is OD. I think it's like 28 and 6 with shooting high shooting percentage. But your points don't matter to me. Last point guard to win the championship at his size, Isaiah Thomas. That was 30 plus years ago. So unless you telling me Mikal Bridges gonna wake up tomorrow and become Joe Dumars or Chris Kobe Middleton, by all means, hey. But yo, Knicks gonna have to pick that up. This preseason, you got Karl Anthony Towns shooting civil rights numbers. Mikal, both of them under 40%. You know, you got the Knicks. And here's another thing too. When people say my fault, Ron, because it's
no, that's you on right now, bro. Do your thing, man. That's fire though. That's funny.
It's one more thing that bothers me when people say preseason don't matter. I want you to go and look at the team stats for the whole NBA in the preseason. And I want you to go look at the Knicks stats the past 5 years. It's 3 stats that always bothers me, and it's still showing in preseason. Knicks is bottom 5 in field goal percentage in preseason. They've been bottom 5 the past couple of years under Thibodeau. I'm paying attention to this. The Knicks also.
I know what he's going to say.
The Knicks are bottom 5 in assists.
Yep.
Once again.
Yep.
Once again, it's with the same coach. This is not with Randall here no more.
I don't think it's a coach thing. I think it's a player thing.
Bottom 5 in assists. And the last but not least, and like when it comes to Thibodeau, it's like the blocks per game is so disgusting with the New York Knicks. And
like low?
Still, they're like bottom 5. And the fact that he still runs a drop back coverage, and I'm supposed to blame Cat. Ron, it's your turn, man. I seen all I needed to see from preseason. This coach, I don't want to hear give this team time. It is championship or bust. You give the team time on your own damn time. I was 29 when these dudes stepped in the building. I'm 34 going on 35. Enough waiting.
Listen, I think I just damn near agree with everything this man said, and I'm really happy to hear it because so many people, there's a term that I heard recently that I think is great, like homers. Have you guys heard of homers in sports? I feel like a lot of people just like the Knicks are the best, or someone said like the team is heliocentric, like whoever is a star is 10 times, forget Michael Jordan, he's 10 times better than Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying? You can do no wrong, you can't do anything wrong. And I'm actually glad that we lost that game the other night. I'm glad that we lost to the Wizards because it very clearly points out so much of the weaknesses of this team that we need to fix before we go fight Boston on Tuesday. And part of me is a little bit worried that it might be a bloodbath when we walk up in there without no Precious, without no Landry Shamet, without a clear role for even the starting 5, honestly, and the very good point that my friend State over here just made. I'm very glad he said all that, got all off his chest. But we don't have We have bottom 5 in assists, bro. That's not good. The team is becoming. I mean, if you look at like how, like, did you see what's his name, Yuki Hakamura on the Grizzlies? The Japanese. He was in the Japanese Olympics for basketball.
Oh,
He was the
Boy,
homie that shot over Wembanyama at 5'8".
oh, okay,
You should look up some of his highlights, bro. Like, I think the assist and playmaking part of this game is evolving. Like the isolation scoring, the Carmelo Anthony era of like basketball is just, you don't have one guy that just goes and shoots 50 points and wins the game. It's just not basketball anymore. You know, you have a team. You have a team of people around you. You need I'm so much of what this man just said I agree with, and I'm very glad he just said it. Like,
Yo, I thought I was stuck on Tibbs, man. State, I thought I was stuck on Tibbs. People call me a Tibbs hater. There's very few things you said that I disagree with. Okay, there's some concerns that I have on this team as well, on this roster. I'm gonna miss Dante. Cat for Randall. I'm not gonna miss Randall in that scenario. So I think it worked better with Cat than Randall. But the fact though is this is the first time, and maybe it's overexcitement, maybe it's like I said, Homer syndrome, but it's universal across the league and across every podcast and every sports analyst that this is the first time the Knicks are being discussed as having a top 3 or 4 starting lineup, excluding maybe Josh. Let's take Josh out of that picture, but those 4 guys have been discussed in every way, shape, and form by every media outlet, written and broadcast, that this is a top 5 starting lineup in the NBA, not even in the East.
the talent. Nobody questions the talent, but it needs to be maximized. It needs to be
absolutely. But I'm just saying to look at the doom and gloom aspect of this when you got a team that has what Boston basically had last year, where only their starters really showed out as okay, that's the best starting lineup in the league. Their bench was Horford and then a bunch of scrubs. Right now, we have a starting lineup where even our bench has some solid pieces, means that I can't be too pessimistic about this. So my optimism is still high.
No, because I think you're making a good point, but I don't think it's a doom and gloom thing or being pessimistic. I just think it's about like we have to be real about the fault of this team if we want to address those faults and be the better team.
Oh, no,
like every team there's no perfect team, you know. The Celtics have weaknesses also.
There is no the Knicks have a top 5 roster. They have a top 10, top 15 coach in the NBA right now. They have the best point guard in the Eastern Conference. The Knicks have the second best center in the Eastern Conference. The Knicks have the best defensive duo in the Eastern Conference. The Knicks have at least 4 guys who shot 40% from 3 last season on their roster right now. There is no excuse for Thibodeau to not get to the finals this year. It's not about doom and gloom.
I agree.
We got to get past that. That's the 2022 talk. That's that you're not a real Knicks fan if you don't overly root for the team talk. Yeah. Let's come back and let's be objective here, including the people in the chat. Oh, you don't like Tibbs. Bro, it's not about liking Tibbs. Tibbs don't pay my rent. It's about what the Knicks is doing right now and where they're going to be. For Tibbs to maximize this roster right now, as presently constructed with no Precious Achiuwa, tied to the Knicks right now, because I think he's going to be out till December, you almost have to play Pacome Daddier. You almost have to play Tyler Kolek. And I'm pleased with it, too. I'm happy with it. Sometimes injuries are a blessing, right? Past couple of years with the New York Knicks, a couple of current New York Knicks players were blessed because other players got hurt.
Isaiah Hartenstein.
So at this point, you know, let's see what.
You could even argue Jalen Brunson got a chance to shine because of Julius Randle's injury.
Tibbs just got to chill with overplaying players. Like, I don't want to see Mikal playing 15 minutes straight. That's
that's a fair point. I also want to say Precious led the season in preseason minutes. He led the league in preseason minutes. Right. And I'm sure what he was doing and like what he worked on over the offseason, but like I said this on another show, bro. Like, it's not a chess piece. It's a human being that has limits. No matter how great of an athlete, no matter how great the coach, the medical staff, whatever it is, all the work and money and effort in the world, is still a human being that if a hamstring gets too tight on one play, they're done. You know what I'm saying? Like, it could be anything. And we already are down to play. Like, Landry Shamet, I don't think you can attribute to Tim. It was a freak play. Maybe he was pushing himself too hard. Precious, yeah, a little bit, you know, and that's like probably my favorite player on the Knicks, honestly. So it's like hurt to see him. I'm hoping that homie is wrong, because it makes me even more hurt, because so far I'm agreeing with everything he's saying. But to his point, ultimately, I was a little bit encouraged because he did have that game against, I think, the Hawks or whoever it was the last time, where he only played the bench. And that's something I don't think you would have seen from Thibodeau of a year ago. I'm hoping, you know. I think the bad habits are still there, but I think, you know, at the same time, people are saying, oh, you got to trust the Tib, you have to trust in this person. Like, every coach there's no person, there's no team that's a flawless team. The Bulls of the 90s had weaknesses, you know. Even, what's his name, the coach of the Bulls at that time that came to coach the Knicks later on, what's his name? Jeff Van Gundy, right? He also came and had like a coaching season with the Knicks that wasn't a flawless season. It was the same coach, the same strategy, the same logic of this amazing winning coach. It wasn't the right strategy for the Knicks, or maybe they didn't buy in or something. Something didn't work out. But the best coach in the world still has weaknesses. The best team in the world still has weaknesses. And it's not to say, oh, doom and gloom, you don't believe, you're not cheering. Either you address those weaknesses or they're going to destroy you. Everything in the world has a weakness. There's nothing in the world that's flawless. If it's run by people or staffed by people, it has weaknesses that have to be addressed. And I think, to his point, you have to let the rooks cook, bro. Like, at this point, we actually might not have a choice, because, first of all, to his point, the assists for this team is bomb juice. We're not a good team when it comes to assist making, and it makes the whole team less dynamic, easier, more linear.
Guys not making shots though. Let's. I will say this: guys are getting good looks. It's I looked at Mikal Bridges' misses, all 10 of them. Like, his misses is not. He only had one bad shot out of all of those misses, but they're not making shots. So maybe it's just preseason. Maybe they need to get ramped up, because Mikal's still shooting, like, regardless, still shooting, I think, like 45% from the field. The game before, he was shooting 51. So it's just a matter of them, you know, making shots. Brunson passing the ball a little more. Cat going to the paint a little more. But I think Cat is an outside-in player. So I'm not even going to stress the fact that he likes to shoot the three a lot. I just think he play outside in, and we'll see. You know, Tibbs got to play the kids though. Like, it's almost like unstoppable now.
I did want to say though that it makes me very happy that Tyler Kolek is even on the team, in the, you know, locker room, whatever, because as much as he could learn from Jalen Brunson, he could clearly teach him some things, bro. Like, Jalen Brunson is not a good lobber. He just doesn't lob very much. He didn't do it with Mitchell Robinson. He didn't do it with even Precious. It was more of a dime kind of thing, you know. And Tyler Kolek knows how to lob. He knows how to do crazy assists. And like,
no, he does. But so you know what? Let me
clarify my doom and gloom statement.
Well, hold on 1 second with your doom and gloom statement, because I wanted to say something. Because you guys have been making really good points, and State has been on one. You know, State has some moments when he gets hot. Heated and hot and heavy with it, but when he's in this mode right now, he is cooking. I will say he has a lot of factual information behind what he's saying, and I can agree with it. I will say that my whole thing is, I think that the one thing that we have to take into account as well is that in the last 2 or 3 of these preseason games, the Knicks have had 22 assists, right? You guys might say that's not a great number, considering what other teams do. The Celtics are usually around 30 assists or higher, right? But the Knicks been shooting bad. They've been shooting like 20-something, 27% from three. Imagine if the Knicks was knocking down their threes, even at a good clip. Like, them assist numbers would go up. So I'm just saying, maybe.
How many years we said that?
What I mean, there was a point. There was a point where last year the Knicks started to that assist level started to go up a little bit, but then they've run back into the same ISO ball and different things. But this Knicks team, I have a feeling that they are trying to be built a little different. I think they are trying to. Let me lower my mic a little bit because maybe I'm sounding too loud. I think they're trying to do things a little different with how they're orchestrating their offense. The problem is, guys, whether or not we want to accept it or not, you got Mikal Bridges in your starting lineup. You got Karl Anthony Towns in your starting lineup. There is no chemistry yet. So until we can see, I said it earlier, until we see what their best is and see what their worst is, then we'll know what they really are in the middle. We haven't even seen them click on all cylinders. Last preseason, at least with the Knicks team, we saw one of those games. We cooked somebody in the preseason. Like, we were cooking. We was knocking down threes from everywhere. Like, it was like the best shooting I've ever seen the Knicks do. And then throughout the regular season, you know, we had some really good victories over Denver, over Philadelphia, where the Knicks were just on fire. We have not seen that yet from this Knicks team. So we got to give them some time to understand what they're doing. Cat don't look comfortable shooting his shot yet, and we know Cat can shoot it. Mikal, that's another story. But the point is, we got to learn. Everybody's got to learn how to get to their spots. Everybody's got to learn how people, you know, work with each other. Backdoor cuts. We're not getting the easy baskets yet. Some of them have popped up, but that's because we're playing bad teams. I'm talking about legitimate easy baskets no matter who we play. We got to get to that level first, and then we'll know what it is. But I hear what you're saying. I agree. The Knicks do. Now that you have this type of dynamic team where you got somebody that stretches the floors, that the passing lanes are open, that the lanes to the rim are open, I expect more. I agree with that. And I think the Knicks will do that. But it's just going to take time, guys. Like I said, it doesn't matter to me if the Knicks struggle in these first 3-4 weeks, as long as we winning. If we win nasty, if it's sloppy, I don't care as long as we winning. Eventually, they're going to figure it out. And I want to say one more thing about this. I apologize, guys. Maybe y'all don't want to hear it. But from what I've already seen with the preseason, the fact that Landry Shamet is out, the fact that Precious just got hurt, I don't necessarily expect the Knicks to beat Boston. Okay? I know that sucks. I know you don't want to hear that. Does that mean I don't think the Knicks can beat Boston? No. I said I don't expect the Knicks to beat Boston because Boston already got their stuff together. Boston's coming back with the same team. They're good. They ain't got no chemistry issues. They just go out there and play basketball. The Knicks still got to figure it out. If the Knicks shoot 22% from three or 27% from three, we're not beating Boston. So until I know for sure what we are, I can't necessarily say. I'm not going to be predicting, oh, yeah, we're going to beat this team. Not until I see what the real Knicks are. Not yet. So that's all I'm saying.
I think.
Okay,
like,
so yeah, Ron, I'm glad you said that.
Wait, hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second, Wiz. I'm gonna let you go right now. What were you gonna say, D-Rex?
Well, I'm just like, I'm glad, even though it's not really like a fan thing to say, that we lost. We lost against the Hawks, and that we might get exposed by Boston because right at the beginning of the season, the way that we lost tells us everything we need to fix on this team. We stunk shooting from three. There wasn't a lot of assists. There wasn't a lot of chemistry. We had a bad or not gelling starting five. Josh Hart is lost in his role, according to his own words. We had injuries. That should something be in the back of the mind of every Knicks player. We had Mikal Bridges out there 15 minutes straight, you know, not sitting down for a second. Every single thing about how we lost is instructive to us. And I think, like, going up against Boston, like, we should all be excited for the season, but we should also be, like, humble and reasonable and be like, okay, that's the issue we have to fix. That's the issue we have to fix. Like, that's the issue we have to fix, you know? Like, and if we go and get exposed by Boston the first game of the season, it sucks. I don't want to lose to Boston, believe me, more than any other New Yorker. But it'll be very clear from us going forward, like, what do we need to fix to get this team to the maximum power level to win the rest of the season? So if that's how we have to start the season, is like losing to the fucking losing to the worst team or losing to the best team back to back. I'm not. I would rather we win every game, of course. But if that's the way to start the season, so everyone who's from the most irrationally positive Knicks fan to the most irrationally negative Knicks fan can just get on one page and be like, we need more assists. We need Josh Hart on the bench. Like, just all the problems that need to be fixed. We get them all lined up 1-1-1, boom, boom, boom. Now we can have a season. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Let me get over to Wiz, but I just wanted to say real quick, I hear you, Chef, and shout out to you. Thank you for being here. I am not saying that I want the Knicks to lose on Tuesday or that I expect them to lose. I'm just telling you, I could see them losing because even before they made this trade, when we did a breakdown of the first 10 games of the season, I mean, I said with Julius and with Dante here that first game of the season against Boston, that's a loss. But I then said out of the next 10, I think we could win I think I had the Knicks going 8-2 in the first 10. There's nothing wrong with that, guys. When you're looking at a team and you're being realistic about what you're seeing,
we're not going to sweep Boston in the playoff series. We're not going to beat them without them winning one game.
Exactly. I'm not mad at that. Even if do I think the Knicks can win on Tuesday? Yes. Do I think they will? I don't know. Right now, what I'm seeing, I don't see it. Okay. But that doesn't mean anything to me. I don't care if we lose to Boston. We got to play Boston 4 times this year, maybe 5. I don't know how the schedule works, but I think it's 4 times. It's okay. It's all right, guys. I'm just saying it could happen. All right. Wiz, what were you going to say, bro? My fault.
All right. So the first thing I'm going to start with is we have 4 brand new starters in our starting lineup right now. We have a guy who doesn't even really mentally believes he's a starter in Josh. Where we have 3 brand new players because you can't count OG as an old player because he only played 30 games for us, basically, something around that, right? So half a season or less than half a season, he played for us. He's still not truly embedded in the team lineup. So we got to look at that. This is a total new chemistry got to be matched up. And so I have a guy who's trying to adjust his shot. Now, no matter what people are going to say about his shooting form, I've been there. I went through the period where my shooting form was affecting the way I was consistently hitting the shot because every time I shot was not quite the same. And that's what Mikal was before. They're trying to find a consistent method of doing it and probably a way that who knows if he has a slight kink in his shoulder or something that has to be done in that format. You don't know why he changed his form and why he's doing it, but there has to be a lot of reason. They don't just fix some guy's form brand new in a new team and he comes out there and he's going to shoot that way every time. You got to give him time to get that shot together because Mikal is a very good shooter. I mean, normally I judge it by foul shots. A foul shooter like that at almost 90% is generally a really good shooter, except sometimes when you move, your body throws it off a little bit. Sometimes when you jump, your body goes up a little bit.
Is he
so let's not mess with his shooting right now. Mikal can score, and I think he will come around. It's like I told you guys when Deuce was struggling. I said, Deuce has got the shot, and I had people screaming, he can shoot, get him out. He's got an NBA shooter only in college or in the G League. And now people are talking about Deuce potentially being like, Dante like shooting skills. And I don't think he's that yet, but I think he can be. So new team, new players. And yes, Tibbs, I'm the biggest. I play chess. My brother's a grandmaster in chess. Right?
Bro, you giving me a bunch of excuses, bro.
So let me jump it out there. I'm one of those chess players, we do after every match. We critique the game.
You know how many Knicks fans said that to me past 2 days? You know how many Knicks fans I talk to that say that same thing you just said?
That I critique every single thing about Tibbs?
No, that whole let's be okay. Mikal's gonna be all right. No, I didn't say let's be okay. He's a 9-year vet.
I say with Mikal, his shooting form we gotta not worry about right now. Only Mikal. Everything else is brand new to you. I don't say be okay with it. I say it's brand new. So we're not gonna necessarily be okay. We may totally fall apart. I don't know. I can't predict the future of what this line's gonna be. Whether it's Josh staying in the lineup or those 4 guys clicking as the first time ever really playing together. Obviously, Mikal and Jalen played in college, but that's 5-6 years ago, so we can't count that. So these are 4 brand new guys playing together, and we don't know what's going to happen. So I'm not going to make any judgment pro or con about it. They have the skills, but I don't know if they're going to work together well. So I'm not going to give a judgment. I'm going to give my point, my perspective as what I'm seeing, and then do with it what you will. Tibbs, again, people thought I was a Tibbs hater, but all I did every game was I just critiqued certain things about his game. Like you said about last game, the last game that ended, why was Kolek playing defense on that second to last play?
Yeah, a lot of people.
Why was Kolek in there? I don't know why he did it. Because remember the Dallas game we lost when we were up by like 7 in the last minutes, last 30 seconds? And again, he had guys sitting on the foul line when we had rebounders on the bench. And I'm saying all we needed was a rebound. And he left Grimes and maybe Deuce in the lineup, whatever it was 2 short guys who were not rebounders. And we had rebounds on the end, and we just needed a rebound to win that match. I mean, it was embarrassing to lose like that when every other coach generally swaps out defense, offense when you can. And if it's a last-second foul shot, we don't care we don't need a shooter on the team. We need 5 rebounders to get that rebound, and boom, we lost the match because of that. So Tibbs, this last one, did exactly the same thing. He's the same mistake he's made in the past. He doesn't always swap it, and maybe there's a reason for it. I'm not going to judge that it wasn't a reason. I'm just saying that it looked like if we needed to stop, you don't put in guys who are questionable defensively when you have guys who can play defense. And then they're playing extra minutes, and I've been shot down every time about it. These are NBA pros that can play 35, 40 minutes, etc. 15 minutes straight in a preseason is actually a lot to ask, especially for guys who are very muscularly built, like Precious or an OG. Guys who potentially, even if they're not like that, just 15 minutes straight is something I question as well. So I'm a big post-analyst of the game, and I critique, not in a negative, but a constructive criticism to try to say, is this possible? And maybe Tibbs will hear us. I mean, I know he watches Ron's show because he knows he's trying to learn some dance moves from Ron. All I'm saying is, I think he can actually become a better coach.
Yeah.
And I think he will be. But I'm just like you, State. I'm the first to send him on a trip right now if we don't make it past the second round next year. I didn't want to renew his contract right now. I wanted to see this year's outcome with this new team before I gave him the extension. I know I'm mentally secure. Those guys love him. Rose love him and stuff. But I wanted to see what Tibbs did this next postseason before I extended that contract, because there's no stealing a coach from a team. We can always pay him $20 million, $50 million for one to next summer. If he ends up taking us to the championship next summer and his contract had expired, then open the. I mean, I'm personally going to go in my bank account and I pay him myself and give him what he wants. But I did not want to pay this man until he got us past the second round with a team that's talented. That's my take.
I did.
Well, okay, all right, yeah, but I just wanted to say, in fairness, was to your point about having Kolek guarding the player to take the last shot. Yeah, I disagree with that too. I don't think they should have had that. But I will say, in fairness to Kolek, he played that play pretty damn good. Like, he was right in this guy's face, and he was at him at the peak of his release. Problem is, you guys know, but you couldn't blame Kolek on that. He just got cooked by a player who is good, in that shot, but hitting that shot. But I agree, they should have switched somehow. I don't know how they would have done it, but they should have switched and allowed someone else to play him. That wasn't the best idea. But Kolek did try, and he was right in the guy's face, but he still hit it without a problem.
Absolutely.
But I will say, like, we talked about it, and guys, bringing up different things. Shout out to y'all in the chat for your information. Please smash that like button if you haven't already done so. We got 187 watching across all platforms. We just had about 205 a little while ago. So please hit that like button, show your love. But I do want to say one thing too. Now it's official, guys, because unfortunately, the Knicks don't play around. Oh, jeez. So the Knicks have waived guard Landry Shamet ahead of Saturday's 5 p.m. deadline. The team announced, meaning they decided against guaranteeing. Yeah, they decided against guaranteeing his contract while waiting for him to rehab from a dislocated right shoulder. Shamet, who was injured in Tuesday's preseason game against the Hornets, was in camp as a non-guaranteed Exhibit 9 contract. The Knicks only will owe him $15,000 in the settlement since they waived him before the deadline. That sucks. That stinks. The man can't even get his money. But this is a business. I get it. It's just horrible. I mean, I guess they're doing that at least. They also waived TJ Warren and Chumo Okeke, who also were in camp as non-guaranteed deals. Now, the Chumo Okeke thing, I'm a little bit surprised because I think there was a spot on the roster that he could have taken, but that just the Knicks is serious, y'all. They're about their business. They're not having guys who they don't feel are going to fit this team. The TJ Warren thing, I thought that might happen because as good as TJ Warren might be, they know about TJ Warren's history. The dude doesn't stay healthy. Can he score? Wow. Yes, but he can't land anywhere because he just can't stay healthy enough to really contribute. So right now, I do think that what they say is true. Shout out to the chat once again. The rumor is that the Knicks are definitely looking at, who Boston just cut. and Mr. Lonnie, whatever his last name is now. I'm forgetting
who
already.
that guy is, to be honest. Is he anything?
He's a very talented young player who's got very great athleticism, and he's got he's a good scorer. He can get hot too, but in a situation like this, would he be the best person to fill in for our need? Probably. I don't think we can get somebody.
Bro. I think the Knicks should just let Pacone run. Just let him run.
Listen, I agree, but you know how the Knicks are. The Knicks don't feel comfortable sometimes with rookies, and this is no different. So
I want to say one thing to that point, by the way.
Lonnie Walker. That's right, Lonnie Walker.
And Jason Tatum, in his 2018 rookie year, he played big minutes for the Celtics in that playoffs, and he was a big contributor in his rookie year.
Yeah. I mean, listen,
good infrastructure.
We'll see.
It's a good infrastructure.
I mean, look, I know. Sorry, State, my fault. I know Chef is saying please no Morris, but I got to tell you, Morris wouldn't be bad at this moment. Though. Morris, one thing you know about Morris is he knocks down that open mid-range shot, and he plays some strong defense. Maybe the only thing I'm concerned about with Morris is his defense not as good as it used to be. So now all he's going to wind up doing is fouling people because he's slower, he's older. That I worry about. So I don't know.
I was going to say, like, the Celtics just had Skapensev on their roster or whatever. Like, we should get him he was basically spying on their practices, Like, you get him back on what they were doing in the Celtics practice.
The problem with Skap, and I think the Celtics are going to realize that too. Skap's got a lot. Oh, well, I mean, I guess maybe they feel that way. I don't know. But the thing with Skap is Skap don't listen. I know a lot of Knicks fans been bringing up Skap in the past, and we talking about him. The guy got some offensive chops. He can score down low. He can rebound a little bit, and he got some ability to stretch the floor. Tell me one Skap highlight where he played defense. I haven't seen it. I don't know about Skap's defense, and I think that is the biggest problem with him. He don't play defense. That's it. That's what it is. All right, let me get this off the screen. Sorry, Landry, Shamit. That stinks, man. That's like the worst, man. That's something that would happen to me, man. I get my break to play for the Knicks, and then I get hurt. Like, wait, what?
That's cold, man. I feel bad for
that's horrible, bro.
That sucks.
Yeah, but I know D. Cooler said Mook declined an offer already, but Mook declined it because at the time, remember, we had all these other guys. There was Chumo, there was Landry, we had you know what I mean? But now with guys getting hurt, and now Mook seeing a reason why, hey, man, Mitchell Robinson's out. You traded, Randall. This guy, Precious, just hurt his hamstring. There might be a way for me to get some burn. So, maybe Mook might reconsider now.
I mean, who else is even left, bro? We're beggars.
It's slim pickings out there now, bro. It's slim pickings. And you don't want the Knicks to make another bad trade.
Nope.
Right. So, bro.
I mean, like I said, I don't know if you guys are baseball fans, but the Mets really got clobbered by the Dodgers that first game.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like I said, it made it very clear what the problems they had to work on were. And I'm like, I'm maybe I'm a masochist. I'm happy to take a beating like that if it teaches us everything we need to fix before going on to the rest of the season. I'll take one bad loss that is instructive, that teaches you everything you need to fix over, especially at the beginning of a season, rather than we're cooking, we're feeling great, amazing. Then we go get exposed by the Celtics in the middle of that. You know what I mean? Like, get it out of the way, I guess. I don't think that's a guaranteed loss either. I don't think it's the right attitude to have. I think
no, I don't think it's a guaranteed loss. I just can see it as a loss because the Celtics already have that chemistry. Those players that when they come out on Tuesday night, that lineup knows exactly where to be. They know exactly what to do. Yeah. They might set the tone in that first quarter, and then it just won't. It'll be a moot point. Like it'll be over before it gets started because they just comfortable together.
It's that bad. I also feel like we don't know how the rookies will perform against them. Who knows?
True.
You never know. Like in a matchup versus matchup situation. One of my only reservations, and I know people can call me like a big Precious fanboy or whatever, but he has played well against the Celtics in the last 2 games that he's been with us. And he's been a good shot blocker against them, which is, I think, valuable. Like, his perimeter defense is really valuable,
right?
Blocking threes and stuff. And that's against the Celtics, you definitely value that,
Yeah.
But I think we still have a chance. Like, who knows? Maybe one of them, rookies goes in there and figures something out. Like I'm with State. Like I was kind of more on like the Knicks staff side because like we've only seen Pacome in like a game or two. But like for one, at this point, it's pretty safe to say like if a French guy gets drafted in the first round, like they probably know how to play basketball a little bit at this point. Like they make some damn good basketball players in France at this point, you know. And his off-ball movement and stuff like that. Like he also already fits into the flow of the offense, both with the bench and the main unit. Actually, he's always getting passes from Jalen, from Tyler. Like he knew where to be, he knew where to cut. Like that stuff. That's like not only it's hard to teach, but it's hard to fit into a team that already has a offensive, you know, mindset and just do that naturally. Like that's as a 19-year-old, bro. 55% from three. I'm like, I was against it, but I'm like, damn, especially now Precious is injured. Like, shoot.
I would say that I do. I could see where Pacome is a little different from guys, the typical rookie, and I could see where in a desperate situation where we need help, I could see Pacome being something that Thibodeau's like maybe because Pacome does play defense. Yeah. Like I said, he did show in those first 2 preseason games where there was certain moments where he did miss an assignment or he let somebody go backdoor, and Tibbs did not like that. But it's not about him not being able to be there. It's about him just being too slow to react and understanding what needs to be done out there. He can do it. But this is why I think Pacome might actually have a chance because Pacome is like an Obi Toppin with less athleticism, but with defense. Because Pacome could score.
He's better
can score, and he can definitely play better three-point. I mean, better defense than Obi. So Pacome might have a road into being a part of this team right now because we need. And he's 6'8". You know what I mean? So even when you guys had thrown out the scenario, which I don't think would happen, but had you thrown out the scenario of Pacome even being in the starting lineup, imagine the Knicks running a team out there with Cat, a 6'8" in Pacome, a 6'8" in 6'7" in Mikal, a 6'8" in OG, and you know, Brunson. That's an interesting lineup. It's very interesting. So you never know.
That a lot of times, like people expect Tibbs to be very rigid and like fixed in his coaching schemes. I always think back to the Indiana series where, like, you know, Rick Carlisle made that whole big stink about, oh, the big market, the small market, whatever. And then the very next game, like 5 minutes of that first game, he made 2 substitutions like in the first quarter, and Tibbs did not adapt. And I knew, like, he's a younger coach than him. I'm like, this guy is just exploiting the rigidity of the coach. Like, he knows that I'm going to do something different than what the game plan was. Tibbs is not going to adapt, and boom. Like, that's it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like if he wants to get, like, ahead of the narrative or, like, kind of out-coach if people trying to out-coach him, you know? Like, doing something like that nobody would expect for him to do, it gives him an advantage as a coach. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I agree.
I'm very much like, let the rooks cook. I'm 100% on board with that now.
Yeah.
Hold like a 40 at least, bro. They know what they're doing out there.
I mean, it would be nice to see that. But you know, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if we see something that we don't want to see Tuesday. I wouldn't be surprised if you see Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, Karl Anthony Towns, and you see Deuce, and you see Sims. And you see maybe campaign. Sorry, campaign, and then you know that's it. I would be surprised if they run 8.
Because it's been like a kind of more negative tone podcast. I mean, I guess most of Knicks Nation is not super optimistic today. I think that's fair to say, right? But can we just put a little respect on campaign? I was so ready to hate on him. I was like, the Knicks front, I don't know what they're doing. They signed this fucking washed up bum, you know, this loser. He doesn't know how to play ball.
PG show. Yeah.
I was so ready to hate on him. Like, you can't even imagine how I was ready to be here. Oh my, this guy sucks. He doesn't know how to play ball. He has balled out in a number of ways. He's shooting a consistent 3. He's playing with the assists. He's playing defense. He's being so annoying. Like, I'm just loving what he's doing for the team, honestly. Like, I have respect on him. That's all I got to say, you know?
Right.
I think he's valuable.
Kerry, I hear you. I mean, listen, let's not even bring up McCullough. I haven't even seen McCullough suit up yet. So I don't know I don't know what McCullough looks like. So let's forget about
until
him
we
for
at least
now.
see him in a Knicks jersey. Do the colors even look right on him, bro? Like, we
Right? Yeah.
far?
Like, how does he look in the uniform? The only thing I seen was a press picture, so I know what it looks like. But you know who's another guy?
Yeah.
Explain to me, why is this guy on the team? Because what are we doing? What's the deal with Jacob Toppin, folks? Jacob Toppin is ready and willing, and he is not getting any burn. And he's already been through the Tibbs gambit. He's been on the team. So what are we doing?
Blame your coach. Tell your coach to play him. Tell your coach that he got 2 6'9" wings on the bench ready. If I see Tibbs, where these needles at? It's needles in here because I stab myself. I'm already. Where these? I see Tibbs. I'm telling you right now, bro. I'm not playing with this coach, bro. If I see him run 8 on Tuesday, that is the first. You haven't seen an angry State video on your timeline in a very long time. You've been seeing me happy. I've been proud of the team, supporting the team. I've been being a good sport. Haven't cursed nobody out. I'm feeling good. If I see 8 men run on Tuesday, win or loss, I'm crashing out. I'm gonna continuously
a fair crash out
until they fire the coach, because that tells me, like that little Mikal 15 minutes straight, that was such a red flag for me, because that told me, like, oh, he still don't get it. Oh, he's like the 5-year-old that you really need to pull down their pants and really pop them like 8 times until he gets it through his brain. I'm gonna say fire the coach on Tuesday if I see that. I swear to God, it's gonna be bad vibes.
And you could really say a lot of bad things if that ends up being the same situation that we're in. Like, you could say he's a stubborn old dinosaur boomer. You could say he's a slave driver, one of these dudes into the ground. There's a lot of crazy things that's like, you know, what I've said is, like, it doesn't really take that much to start seeing the cruelty in it. Because, like, these dudes are gonna play. They're on the Knicks. They're gonna play until they're literally cannot stand up anymore. So I hate this excuse of, oh, they're professional NBA players. They say they're not tired. What NBA player is going to be like, oh, I'm too tired to play? Who's going to say that as an NBA player, bro? Yeah, I'm too tired. I don't feel like playing anymore. Like, nobody's going to say that. They have a contract to fight for. They have a fan base. They have critics out there, you know, that's watching their game. Oh, my leg's a little sore. I'm not injured, but I'm too tired to play. Like, nobody wants to be saying that. The coach and the coaching staff has got to be like, yo, he's not moving right. He's not jumping right. He's not, you know. I hope that you're wrong. I felt encouraged by the game where he just played the bench. He only played the bench. I felt like we never would have seen that even in preseason, is my understanding for the past year.
True.
And I don't know, like, you know what kind of gives me a little bit of hope, which is a very, very small thing. The putback dunk that Ariel 40 had on Precious, there was another angle of it, and he had a look on his eyes where I'm like, he's like, that's the 58th pick that we got. I'm like, okay, like, that's a rookie. Like, okay.
Yo, I'm not gonna lock down the 8-man rotation fire the coach, you know, option, but I will lock down on the consecutive minutes option.
It's too much,
because I don't mind everybody getting 36 minutes as a starter, but it's the consecutive minutes. It's when they're fatigued and they're staying out there and that's susceptible to injury when you're fatigued like that. So if we can find 3 guys who will cover the minutes enough that will break down that they won't be running.
That's coaching.
Minutes straight. That's where I find the problem. So I'm not going to merely fire the coach with 8 players, but I will say if I see anyone playing 48 minutes in
first game of the season.
I know what you mean. I feel you there. I'm not going to jump off the ledge for the 8-man rotation right away, but I will jump off the ledge for the total minutes and the consecutive minutes played scenario. So that's where I'm gonna watch out for Tibbs.
So you don't care until somebody's leg fall off the bone. See, fans like you are cursed out every day. You don't want to say nothing at this moment, but as soon as it hit the fan, you want to stand and march with me.
But man, I've been saying it for 4 years. Every time Tibbs got I said Tibbs is a, like I said, slave driver. Tibbs is crazy with the minutes. I've been saying it over and over. I've been shot down every Rod. I don't know if ask Queen about me.
I know. Listen. I know. Look, in fairness, just is nothing there. This is not good. This is not a good situation for the Knicks to be in. It's not crazy. We're okay. We can come out of it on top still.
Yeah.
But don't be surprised if the Knicks go 8 deep or 9, maybe, but possibly 8
You know
on
what?
Tuesday.
I'm even
Don't
gonna
be
go even further
surprised.
than Ron. I'm gonna take it one step further. If we go 8 deep and he runs all these dudes 50 minutes and nobody else sees any playing time and we lose, that's actually a good outcome because that will be like, I would hope, the final nail in the coffin of I'm only gonna run 8 people. I'm gonna stay with the dudes that I trust. I'm gonna be the same old freaking dinosaur Tibbs, Boomer, you know. And if I get blown out by Boston doing that, like there's nobody's gonna sit there and tell me, no, this is the right way to play basketball after that. Like I'm not a
But
coach. You know,
on the flip side, Tibbs may say, you know what? I know this is bad. This is not good. We're in trouble because we don't have, so much of our pieces with us. We need that help, especially on the rebounding end.
Yeah.
But maybe Tibbs says, you know what? I know that Boston doesn't have Porzingis. So you know what? I'm going to try to exploit this matchup as much as I can. I expect Cat to play a lot on Tuesday. Cat is going to give us what Boston does with Porzingis, and we are going to try to make them feel what they've been doing to the rest of the league as much as possible. I wouldn't be surprised if he does that, and we could win. Who knows?
Oh my God!
I'm telling you, I would not be surprised if he does that.
I'm
Pat
telling
45
you.
minutes
I'm
in the
telling you.
first
Listen,
game of the season, bro. There's gonna be a riot on the street.
listen. The last 4 years, I'm going off history now. Now it's like this is not a narrative no more, where certain people who hide behind these random Abbies say, "Oh, you don't like the coach." Every single season under Thomas Thibodeau, the Knicks has had 3 players season-ending injuries. Thibodeau reminds me of like that horror movie, like Baba Book. Wherever the book goes, it's like evil that follows it. Wherever Tibbs goes,
You know, I even want to
injuries
make another
follow him.
point. Is that apparently he was helping coach the training staff of Yao Ming. Like he was the one making Yao Ming do these crazy workouts between games.
There is no planning where the kids don't play Tuesday. That is one of the most dumb. That tells me he don't get it. He don't get it, and I'm out. He don't get it, and I'm out. It's enough. That's like your 5-year-old kid keep cursing in the crib. You telling him or her, "Hey, stop cursing." They look at you and they curse again. At some point, you gotta say, "All right, you know what? You're getting a butt whipping, and you're gonna read a book and just stare at the wall for the day." Come on.
All right, let me ask you guys this. First off, shout out to Paris Duggar. Thank you for the generous super chat, my friend. Appreciate you. He said Cam is the real Dante replacement, threes and attitude.
Honestly,
If Tibbs wanted that game last night, if Tibbs wanted that game last night, he would have let Cam Payne finish the Washington off. He's a dog. Granted, it shows you the level that this is preseason. He did take Cam Payne out with like about 6 or 5 minutes left in the game. Yes, it's preseason. So, obviously, if he wanted to win, he would have kept Cam in there, or he would have even kept one of the starters in there. I mean, it's just preseason. It's time to get to know guys and see what they could do. And I think it was actually a really good thing to see because we got to see I knew that already, but it's nice to see the dog in Kolek when it comes to offensively.
Yeah.
We need to get a shot. I'm going to go
clutch,
get it.
bro.
He is clutch. I like Kolek. So, but the one thing I want to say is, what happens, guys? Let's keep it funky. What happens if on Tuesday Tibbs does go 8 deep, right?
We win?
Or even 9, and we win, right? And Cat
that's actually
balls
also
out.
even worse in a
I'm
way.
saying, what happens?
That's actually kind of
I
bad.
don't care. You know why I don't care? The reason why I would never care is because the end goal is to win a championship. My brother, we had 6 season-ending injuries last season because you want to play Julius Randle the first 12 minutes of every quarter. I don't want to see that no more. I don't care if we win that game. I care about the minutes. I care about a lot of other stuff. I care about Mikal finding his shot. I care about Cat. Stop camping at the 3 being Josh Smith. I care about Brunson. Can you give me 10 assists? Your points don't impress me no more. Brunson could score 80, and I'ma still ask a petty question like, how many assists he got? Oh, he got 6? I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed. It's certain thing. I'm not impressed. OG Anunoby, I'm box score watching with him. How many steals and blocks you getting per game? What is your defensive rating? I need to know what is your DPM? I gotta get technical with some of these guys on the Knicks. Mikal, we was doing it to the young players. Let's do it to these guys. Like, all right, Tibbs got one more year. Tibbs don't get to the finals this season. He needs to be fired. And he needs to be replaced. Who would I replace him with? Oh, I got a lot of names. I'm just not getting into that combo right now because we don't need to discuss about Tibbs getting fired. We just want him to adapt. That's all. It ain't. We know he's a Hall of Famer. Tibbs a walking Hall of Famer. Got much respect for him, but you gotta adapt, my guy.
And also, to be fair, like as good of a basketball coach as he's been, he's never won the finals, right?
Yo, State,
That's true.
what about ECF finals 6 or 7 games? Would that not be acceptable?
All right. Well, the state's moonlighting here. He's going back and forth.
I think for most people they would be fine, but I think still.
Say that again.
ECF final game 6 or 7, we lose.
Championship or bust. You failed. You
Damn.
traded 5 first-round picks in a draft that had. You got Cooper Flag, Ace Bailey. You traded your first-round pick. You got to win a championship. Nothing else. That's it. That's it. Period.
I mean, that's the Knicks fan base at this point, bro. We're savage, and I don't blame them.
And it's every single season. It's not just this year. Every single season, I'm looking at Leon Rose as the president from now on. It's championship or bust. He got to win a chip. Okay. Anything else is a failure.
Wait. So here's the question, right? What if the Knicks win the championship this year? And
they're all ecstatic.
No, but okay, but what if they win the championship this year and then next year the season just doesn't turn out to be exactly what we think? Do we give the Knicks organization? So you good as long as we get that one, you cool with it? Okay,
I got you. So much. I have to be honest. It would change so much already.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. As far as one, your question was 8-man rotation Tuesday, and we win, even win easily. Would I be happy with that? Would I be okay with that? I'm with State. I just can't be fully satisfied with this man not distributing the time for these players to stay healthy.
Isn't that the job of coaching?
But my whole thing is, guys, I'm not concerned with adjustments that are extreme. I'm concerned with if that's your consistent way of doing things, right? Okay. If he goes out there and says Boston is a tough opponent, it's in my mind, it's the first game of the season. It's also a statement game against an Eastern Conference rival. I think we need to try to win this game. I'm going 8. I'm gonna play these guys. Let's get it. Let's get the victory. And then the next game he goes to 9 or 10. I'm not mad at him. Okay. My whole thing is the pattern of not neglect. The pattern of abuse. Thank you. The pattern of abuse. If he does it, and now because we got a couple guys who aren't even big pieces of the team that are out. No offense to Precious. I know you love Precious, but I'm saying like it's not like that's Cat. It's not like it's Brunson. It's not OG. It's not Mikal. Like to me, there's no reason to panic. Like if you want to say Boston's game is really important and you think you're just going to go with the guys you trust against them, fine. But after Boston, the next game, if you go back to playing 9 or 10 and then going, and I'm cool with that. If he goes 8 and it keeps going 8, now we have a little bit of a problem. Now I'm with all of you guys.
I think that if in your situation that is the case, first of all, let me be clear. I'll be thrilled if we beat Boston. I'm not just going to be happy. I'll be thrilled. I do not want the New York Knicks to lose to Boston ever.
I hear you.
Let me just be clear. I don't want it to happen. We know how the Boston fans are. We know what the media is going to say. It's not going to be fun. I don't want it to happen no matter what. That being said, to me, I would still be a little bit sad because to me, like that's not sustainable winning of a whole NBA season of basketball is a tough game, bro. You're getting knocked around a lot. You're running up and down the court the whole time. A lot of things happen in a basketball game. You need all your muscles, your hamstrings, your tendons to be relaxed. You need to be in good physical condition to play a basketball. You can't be 80%, 70% against dudes that are 100% that are also NBA players. It's just not, that's not how you win. You can't have a healthy guy against an injured guy and the healthy think the injured guy is going to win. It's not logical. So for me, it's about sustainable winning. Like people have said that like, oh, Tibbs fights really hard for every game to get the best seed, this and that. And then the team breaks down in June and you don't win a championship. So that's not what I want to see. I want to see.
I mean,
I want to see Cat healthy. I want to see Mitchell Robinson be healthy. I want to see all these top players winning, of course, playing the best basketball of their careers, hopefully, but not playing 1,000 minutes a night to win.
Agreed.
You know?
100% agree with you on that. And shout out to Josh Smooth. Appreciate you. He said 10. You think that's going to happen? I don't know. But I do know that, I'm only going by what people have said. And when I go by what people have said, I'm going by the right people. Alan Hahn said that Tibbs wanted to run 10 last year, but he just didn't feel comfortable doing it because of whatever personnel. This year, he wanted to try running 10 again at some point if he had the right people out there. And I think the Knicks are in a situation where I could see them running 10 because there is guys that, even in little spurts of time have proven that they can add something positive. Kolek is one of those guys who no matter how you look at him, he's like the 9th or 10th man, right? I don't know if he has to be the 10th, but he's definitely the 9th or the 10th guy. So if you're telling me that they throw 9 guys out there and Kolek's sitting on the bench, I can definitely see them. I can definitely see Kolek coming in as a 10th guy. That makes sense because that's a guy like, oh man, you got him sitting on the bench and he could do something. You got to figure out a way. So that's what I'm saying. That's why I could see it happening. But the other thing I wanted to say too, shout out to JT Riddick. Salute to you as well, my brother. He said chemistry is important. We have a new starting lineup. They have to gel. What's the best way for guys to gel? To play together. Sometimes they do need to play a lot together to get comfortable.
I think another question that's difficult, which I think you kind of alluded to a solution, is like, I'm hoping Precious isn't injured, bro. I'm bummed out for the whole year if he is. But if he is, and hypothetically he is the answer to the starting lineup, now what do we do? Because I think Deuce is short to be in the starting lineup over Josh Hart, and you like him as a bench guy, So who else? Like Sims is not really the answer. Huck Porty as a starter? I mean, that's probably too early for him, right? I would do it. I love the kid, but like, I don't think the Knicks would do that. But like, I also feel like Precious is more dynamic and agile than Huck Porty to be a starter. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Like if let's say that what Josh Hart himself is saying is true, that he would rather be coming off the bench, and the answer isn't Deuce, and the answer can't be Precious, I don't know.
I mean, personally, to me, the Knicks have so many different ways to look at this that we don't know what they're going to do and how Thibodeau sees it. I think Thibodeau values more than anything else. He values 5 guys that he can depend on. Like these 5 guys get it. I don't care whatever else happens. I know these 5 guys got it. And outside of Josh, I don't know who he would throw into that mix. Precious might be an answer, but Precious is hurt. So who does he feel like he can throw into this lineup right now that can make it work and it's not going to miss a beat?
Honestly, I think State is right. Like Pacome.
I was just going to say, honestly, I think it's Pacome as well, because Pacome can go out there and with his 6'8" length and just play defense, right? And then if you happen to leave Pacome open in the corner, knock down a 3, Pacome. Go ahead, young man. Or back cut Pacome. They're double teaming this, or they're trying to get the ball out of this guy's hand. Pacome can hit the layup line. You know what I mean? Like there's ways that this can work. It's just, does Tibbs feel comfortable enough that Pacome won't be the weak link because he just doesn't know enough yet? Because like I said, the only thing going against Pacome is he had some defensive lapses that Tibbs doesn't like. You just don't let guys go backdoor. You don't miss an assignment. When the guy needs help, you got to go help. So it's just all about learning how the offense and the defense works and him fitting in. But it's early, so it's like it's a bad spot for a young guy like that to be in because you're going to make mistakes. It's only 4 games.
Well, they say pressure makes diamonds.
Right,
right. I do think that there are certain people who play better when their back is up against the wall. I think Josh Hart is a player like that. Like when push came to shove, he was a totally different player in the playoffs. His stat sheet of himself in the regular season versus himself in the playoffs is literally 2 different human beings. It's actually insane how different it was. I think he was like 50% in the playoffs against the 76ers or something like that. Some insane number, from 3. But I think it actually, in a certain way, forces Tibbs to be to the extreme of his creativity, to the extreme of his flexibility, because we know he trusts Precious at this point. That's for sure. He's running him 50 minutes a night in the preseason, and he was running him long minutes before, 40 minutes when he was a starter. We know he trusts him at this point. We know he produced for us. So it's not even a question. But now he's in a position where, like, you don't have Precious, you don't have Landry. Even Josh Hart is saying, yo, I'm not comfortable in this role. Even as much as you trust me, I'm not comfortable in this role. So he actually is kind of forcing his hand in a sense, where it's like, okay, what do you do? And I think if a team is like game planning against the Knicks, like, even if you only go off those first 2 games, they're not going to look at Pacome Daddy and be like, okay, we don't have to defend him. Nobody's looking at those 2 games and being like, yeah, he's not going to hit them. Like, no, you're guarding him. You know, you're having someone on him at some point in the game, you know? So I don't know.
And let me just say, shout out to Brooklyn Knicks fan. I don't look at it that way. Don't look at it that way, because that's the wrong way to look at it. You don't.
Hell, he looks at it like every way like that, bro.
No, because because the whole thing is you got to look at it like Deuce. Yeah, as far as understanding the system and
he's better. He's straight up a better player.
Deuce should be in the starting lineup over Pacome. But remember, you got a bench you got to worry about too. You just gonna leave you need Deuce on that bench. So like that's what I'm saying.
Look at the last game he played, bro. Look at the last game he played. Their bench outscored ours. Simple.
It's real quick. It's too much onus on Tyler Kohler to produce right now. This is why I said. Me personally, the best idea is starting Pacome and bringing Josh off the bench. But who knows, yo?
Honestly, what if they do that?
I don't have a problem with it, because I already said how it could work out. Pacome is not a guy who hasn't earned anything yet in this league. He's not a guy you got to worry about the rah-rah, feeling underutilized. You kidding me? He's going to go crazy. I get to start on the Knicks with these guys next to me. All he's got to do is out there is show his effort, play defense, and then hit open shots if they come to him. There's nothing wrong with that. That's a great look for that guy. And mind you, Josh comes off the bench with his energy, his scrappy defense. Then you got Payne orchestrating. You got Kolek, who can also be in there, used if needed. But really, you got Payne, Deuce, and Josh. Those 3 can do some damage out there. I like that. I like what they can
also,
do.
What people have been saying is like a unique strength of our even I think the commentator said last game, like the ball movement of the second unit is like really good. You know, and Josh Hart is only going to add to that. Like that's a strength.
That's what I'm saying. That's a good point, because I think that's where. So the other thing that I wanted to say too, and I don't want to stay much longer. Shout out to you, Tim. I see you wanted the link, but I'm actually going to wrap up because it's been the show started late. We've already rocked for 3 hours. Yeah. This has been a good talk. I think that another thing the Knicks need to think about too is maybe Josh shouldn't be. I mean, give it time, right? But maybe Josh shouldn't be out there with too many of the starters at the same time. Like, okay, if it's like Jalen and Mikal or Jalen and OG or not all like you know how Tibbs likes to mix and match. I think Josh needs a little bit more open lanes to be able to move around and do his thing. That's what I think. Give him some love. Like get some of these star guys out of there.
I'm just trying to put myself in Josh Hart's mindset. Like, there's no way that he knows his shooting percentages better than anybody that he's going to be like, okay, I have OG over there, I have Mikal Bridges over there, I have Jalen Brunson, I have Cat over there. I'm going to take the shot. There's no way he's going to feel comfortable ever when he knows that guy's a 40% three-point shooter, that guy's a 40% three-point shooter, so let me take the shot over them. Like, no way, Jose. But with Tyler Kolek, with Aurel Hook-Forty, some of these other guys next to him that are going to make some space for him, and he can run a little bit and do more of his, like, athletic, strong dog-type play, he'll feel a lot more – I feel like he'll feel more comfortable. That's, like, the type of game I feel like he wants to play. I'm not Josh, but that's how I feel,
Yeah. I agree, man. Like, guys, there's a lot of questions that need to be answered. But once again, the thing that I think everybody's still trying to say, even if we're talking about stuff, it's not doom and gloom. It's not doom and gloom. Okay, we're gonna be okay. We're gonna be okay. Let me get around everybody that's still here. Shout out to State. I know he's working. Appreciate you, State, for jumping on. Any final words you wanted to say, D-Rex?
I'm actually not worried. And like I said, like the fact that we lost that last game, especially to the Hawks, by the way, there's nobody who's going to look at that and say, oh, we got nothing to learn from that. It was just a fluke.
And not the Hawks.
The Wizards.
The Wizards. Yeah.
Nobody's gonna look at that and be like, oh, it's a fluke. Like the Knicks should not lose to the Wizards. Everybody can know that. Everybody can agree on that. A lot of things went wrong for that to happen that we all should learn from. And I'm glad that we're starting off. If we started off our season on 5 wins straight in the preseason, we would have been irrationally confident. Would have learned nothing. People would have been saying you can't say anything to this team. They're doing everything right. Blah 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 blah. I'm glad we lost the last game, and I hope we beat Boston but we learned something from it.
Right. I'm with you 100% on that. Yeah, that's dope. And thank you for being here and rocking with me, D-Rex. It's good to see you chopping it up, bro.
This was a fun one, and we had a lot to talk about today. It was very interesting.
Yeah. We definitely did. And shout out to Wiz. I know Wiz just had to get off. Appreciate you, Wiz. Thank you, my brother. So thank you to everybody who joined me, man. Wiz came back. He's got his final words. Wiz, what's your final words, my brother?
Don't get married. I'm just joking. She's not here. She just read the supermarket. She went inside. I got 2 minutes.
I bet you know not to say that around her.
Oh man, she's 5'3", and I'm scared of her, man.
I'm coming.
Yo, look, final words on this Knicks team. I'm super optimistic this season. I really believe all the way from Tibbs to OG, this is a year we're going to actually put it all together. And the reason why I said OG, because OG is injury prone. And this is the year where I'm going to see him put up 70-plus games and be ready for the playoffs and be held through it. I'm not going to predict championship, but I'm going to predict ECF finals and a strong showing. I do think Boston right now, still, like you said, like Tuesday coming up, they have a slight edge on us. Part of it is, of course, they've been together a while. They got 2 all-NBA Hall of Fame potential guys. And, I mean, they're just really well coached, and they've been there. So ECF finals, 6 or 7 games, we're going to fight them to the end. I would not be surprised if we're in the championship, but I just would be proud of ECF finals to justify Tibbs' extension and to justify the deals we've made, losing someone like a Dante. Because right now, it's the only person right now that I really have some regret losing is Dante. I'm optimistic on Kolek. I think Hakpodi is going to shock us, and Dadier. This is like the 3 rookies on a Knicks team that goes to the championship with 4 brand new, basically starters. I do think Josh got to go to the bench. I don't know how we're gonna work it. Like you said, a Dadier lineup with Mikal and OG is a freaky defensive lineup and solid offensively all the way around. Josh, I think, feels more comfortable being the big fish in a small pond, come off the bench, being that spark, and not hesitating to shoot where he is right now. He can't help but look around. I played this drove blank. What was Mark Jackson's Ron was the point guard next to Mark that we traded? Rod Strickland.
Strickland. Yeah.
I played with Rod Strickland when he came to West 14 one day on the court. Mm-hmm. And he took all the shots. And I felt like, what am I doing here? At the same time, it was just amazing. I was just mesmerized watching him play because he had a bounce. He was too smooth. I'm just like, and I think that's what Josh feels right. He's looking like, damn. He's looking around and seeing who the hell are those guys. It almost feels like doesn't belong. And that's a mental thing that's hard to overcome. So I think to put him out of his misery, get a kid who has no fear, like a Dadier in there, who's thinking, yo, I'm an NBA player. Come on. I think he can do it. So I'm looking forward to Tibbs being more flexible. I'm open to a conditional 9, 10, 11-man rotation where you play 9-man rotation but rotate 2 other guys into the lineup based on who we're going against. I think he's going to become that flexible. Because I think also, Papa, Brunson is going to actually be more vocal in what's going on. And that's probably what Dante was talking about. Who's running the show? I think Papa Brunson going to be saying some stuff in there that Tibbs kind of have to bend because his son's legacy is on the line when he doesn't do the right thing to make sure everything is all on the way it should be. So that's my take, man. I'm looking forward. I'm saying 6-2 wins. 6-2 wins, my prediction. Not because I'm 62 years old, but because 62 wins is what we can do. Ron Dash, like is 62 years old, but overall, 62 wins, so we're that good. Thank you, Rhonda, for having me on here, man. You're the man, Rhonda. No matter what, even your dashing skills, is okay. I can't lie, it sucks, but okay. Appreciate you.
No,
And
no,
I can sing myself off the show, but I don't want to make you feel too bad.
no, no. My ears. I've had a long day, bro. I don't need to hear that.
All right, Rod.
All right, brother.
All right,
Appreciate you, man.
peace. You too, man.
Yeah, man. Wow. 62 wins. That's a lot. Shout out to Wiz, man. Let him get his off. 62 wins is a lizard. So I don't know about that one. But yeah. I just want to say thank you to everybody for being here and rocking. Sorry for the late show, but like I said, I had to do some things earlier today. But I appreciate everybody for being here. Once again, Monday's show will be with Coach Nick from B-Ball Breakdown. It's going to be a pretty good show. I think you're going to enjoy it. Very informative. We're going to ask him some questions about this Knicks team, understanding the chemistry that they're working towards, the gelling, also the shooting, and what they can do to kind of help fix their shot. Guys like Mikal, guys like Cat, and just if there's any underlying things that he sees as a concern with watching them out there in these preseason games. So yeah, it should be a very interesting, very dope talk. And I can't wait for it. Also, once again, just a couple housekeeping things. I just want to say shout out to the Omni fan ladies once again for putting on a great event earlier today. They had a meet and greet with Mr. Jericho Sims, and I'm sure that everybody enjoyed that and must have had a great time, him showing up and signing autographs and also being able to schmooze and talk it up with the fans. So I'm sure that was pretty dope. Shout out to them once again. I also want to give a big personal shout out to my brother Steven and his new wife Katrisa. They got married today about a couple hours ago, so shout out to them. I wish I could have been there, but unfortunately I could not. But blessings and love to you guys on your new nuptials and continued happiness for years and years to come. So that's pretty dope. And shout out to all my boys that are went out there to show love. Todd, Thomas, Chris, y'all know who you are. That being said, guys, as I always say, tell a friend who tells a friend who tells another friend. Still Knicks fans, we'll be back again, whether it be on Saturdays, normally at 11:30 for Know the Ledge. Today was a little different. Mondays for SKF Weekly with myself, my brother John, and maybe my brother Jose this Monday. I'm not sure. It might be this Monday or next Monday, but we just talked, and I'm not sure which day it is, but it's very soon. So yeah, so shout out to him and shout out to us all getting back together, the Three Musketeers, La Tres Musqueritos. Again, we'll be back. So I can't wait for that. And also continued programming, man. Just continue to support us. We're going to keep giving you the best content we can as we go forward to this new Knicks season. I can't wait. So it should be fun. Also, I want to say, thank you to people who may have joined the show late. Replay gang, we here. Please watch if you didn't catch it live, catch the replay. Shout out to my brother 713 Gamer in the building. Fliggerty, what up, my brother? Another member of the SKF Army. Salute to you. Shout out to L, damn it, in the building. L, pew pew. What's going on? Appreciate you. Another member of the SKF Army. Salute to you. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here, guys. Appreciate all of y'all. Listen, man, I say it all the time. I say it usually on SKF Weekly, but the goods, the bad, the ups, downs, throughout it all, still Knicks fans, right? So don't get too crazy about it. Don't jump out that window. Know the ledge, because we're gonna be all right. We're fine. All right. So I want y'all to take care of yourselves. Have a great rest of your day. Enjoy it. Knicks season is upon us. 3 more days until opening day. Tuesday should be phenomenal. I'm excited. You guys should be excited. We're going to get through all of this, man. Thank you guys for always being here and rocking with me, and showing support and love to the show. And just understand, we're gonna be fine. All right. So peace out, everybody. One yourself. We out.